Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
All right, what's up, everybody? Right out the gate, I was hearing some background noise from somewhere.
Yeah, I was. It might have been me. I was on mute.
Okay.
I wasn't on mute. I don't know.
Well, whatever I was hearing, I'm not hearing it now, so we should be good.
Okay.
We should be good. Hopefully, everything is good. I was hearing something weird, but welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome, panelists. Welcome, chat room. And y'all look like I always say, make sure y'all hit the like button. Whether you catching this right now live or whether you catching it after it's uploaded, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Edward Anderson in the building says, sure you can. They just don't tend to be at this point. The problem is women have gotten, for the most part, what they say set out to get. Now they are just trying to have it both ways. Right on. But shout out to Edward Anderson. Shout out to Annette. You go by Annie, right?
Yes, Annie.
Okay, Annie, that's what I thought. All right, and shout out to ARC in the building. Says I cover this in chapter 8 of The Possibility of Sex. Like I always say, y'all know ARC's Possibility of Sex, one of the best books written in this whole dating arena. One of the best books. My favorite, my personal favorite. I haven't read them all, so that's why I sometimes preface it and say one of the best or my favorite, but I'll just go in and say the best book written on this topic. But shout out to ARC. He said, I wrote this in Possibility of Sex, chapter 9, and no free attention. The answer is yes. The better question is, can a woman be a radical feminist and not be a misandrist? But shout out to ARC. Shout out to Wayman Brown. Shout out to Paul Gain. Shout out to E. Capone. Wayman Casey. I think I said Wayman Brown when it was Wayman Casey. Okay, my bad. It's a Wayman Brown and a Wayman Casey. You got the wrong one. Shout out to KD, the biggest supporter of the manosphere. You always coming through supporting everybody. Definitely appreciate that, brother. D-Rock Dan in the building. C Gully, the Clue Channel. He says, let us see your Game Changer. I'm gonna get Game Changer on camera eventually. Don't worry, it's coming. I'm gonna get Game Changer on camera. And shout out to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Appreciate your support. Thank you for jumping it off right. Shout out to Leo Anthony. And all right, let's get into it. We got a lively panel here already set, ready to go right out the gate. The first question on the table, it's like 4 or 5 questions, but the first one on the table. Can you be a feminist? Who was that?
Oh, bless you.
GC.
That was
Game
GC.
changer.
Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. My bad. No, I'm sitting there looking at everybody. I heard a sneeze. I didn't see nobody move, but I wasn't paying attention to the one person who wasn't on camera. I was like, where the hell that sneeze come from? But all right. The first question on the table: can you be a feminist and not N-O-T, not be a misandrist? I don't want to give or say too much before we get into it, but there is the factor of the feminist in the traditional sense, first wave, second wave, or this modern day stuff we got going on, the whole works. I'm going to go to game changer first. Go ahead. What you got on that first question that we're throwing on the table? Can you be a feminist and not be a misandrist?
Well, the short answer is yes, you can, in a sense, because there was a time, believe it or not, in recent history where being a feminist was just trendy, and a lot of young ladies were being feminists not knowing what they were doing. They was just saying, oh, I'm a feminist, not really knowing what it meant and what it was a part of, and not understanding the misandry aspects of it. They thought that it meant a certain type of egalitarianism, we're all equal, and they really just looked at it as a byproduct of the civil rights movement. Now, those are becoming fewer and fewer now, and I will say that most modern feminists are misandrous.
You said most modern feminists are misandrous. Why so? Why do you say most modern feminists are misandrous?
Well, Ed put it best. They already have everything. They already have equality. So now they're looking for superiority. If you have more representation in universities and things like that, you have basically equal opportunity. Perhaps not equal outcome, yet you still have equal opportunity. It means that you're looking for superior outcomes, and you look at men as competition in doing so. So that is a misandrist thing. You're looking for superiority, just like you have the WS with the tiki torches and stuff. They're looking for superiority. They are already in a position of of greater resources and greater power, and they're looking to drive that in more, meaning that that's they're a racist group, they're a hate group. Same with feminists.
All right. Naked Truth. Well, Annie. I'm going Annie. I ain't gonna say your full YouTube name.
The naked truth just means telling the truth as I see it, not hiding anything. So just being really open about what I think. Hi, everyone. I think I agree partly with Game Changer. I think that if you're a radical, because you did put the word radical feminist, I think if you're a radical feminist, you've gone beyond the point of looking for equality. You've gone beyond the point of like fighting for women's right. And you're now really almost kind of going for a situation where you're actually putting women above, because original feminism was about bringing women from the trenches and making them equal, have equal rights as men. But I think the more radical feminist is almost like, okay, anything a man can do, a woman can do not as well, but even better. So there's almost that form of misandry there. But my own interpretation of misandry is that a lot of the people who are hateful towards men and not necessarily hateful towards the systems that cause inequalities, they're hateful towards individual men. So it's not a case of, oh, well, the government is against women. It's more a case of, well, all men are horrible, or men think with their blah, blah, blah. It's a hatred of just the individual or men just for being men, as opposed to institutions and government, any kind of institution.
Well, what systems are
If I may
causing?
respond.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, GC.
Yeah, if I may respond, the system of government does not cause any inequalities for women, not a one. The only inequality for women that exists is diminished upper body strength. So really, the government is not.
Sorry, I didn't catch
diminished. I was saying diminished upper body strength.
Diminished upper body strength. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That is the inequality that exists, and that's not the government's fault. So, make no mistake, the government has offered equality for some time. The original feminists that you speak of are dead. So all of the ones who are alive and feminists not right now, the overwhelming majority of them are misandric.
I think I would disagree with you. I think, yes, you might be right that the original feminists may be dead, maybe. But I think that the feminists that are
Well, yeah, I
around,
mean, there's a 212-year-old feminist out there, I'm sure, but the rest are dead.
I think the feminists that are
Uh-oh, somebody
back.
had background. But go ahead, Annie. You was trying to say something.
Feminists that are there, the feminists that started originally started for basic human rights. So the rights to choose what you do with your body, the rights to use contraception, the right to have abortions if you want to. That's the basic premise of how things started. The right to have a driving license, the right to even have a job, go to school. I mean, in some countries, they're still way, way behind the United States and the United Kingdom. So we haven't, the feminists have not finished the job of equalizing the opportunities for women. But does that mean women should hate men? I don't think women should go around hating men just because we're trying.
What do you mean by they haven't finished the job of equalizing opportunities for women?
Because the job of equalizing opportunities is a global problem. So they might have done enough in the United States or gone a long way in the United States, but in some countries, women are still not allowed to drive. In some countries, women are not allowed to leave the country. I can name some, like Saudi Arabia. You can't leave the country. Iraq, unless you have your husband's permission, and if you're not married, unless you have your father's permission.
What
you're talking about is imposing your will on other countries. You know who do that? Nazis. You know who do that? Colonists. You know who do that? Every asshole on the planet. Genghis Khan, Julius Caesar. Everybody that you are taught to hate do crap like that. They say our way of life is superior to all others, and all others have to evolve into our way of life by the sword, by the bullet, or by the spear. That is classic assholism.
Okay, you may say so,
Well,
but for a woman, sorry.
Well, no. I'll first of all, I agree with everything the Game Changer has been saying up until this point, because that's one. Oh shit, hold on. Oh, y'all can't see that. That's a me problem on my screen. Okay, I got it fixed. All right. I agree with everything Game Changer been saying up until this point. When you talk about, and this is one of the failures of the left out west. Mm-hmm. They talk about women's rights and blah 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 and women's freedom and all of that, and Game Changer, rightfully pointed out the aspects of it that's some bullshit. But if they were truly about that life, like I say that they should look at when they look at the Muslim world, and I wasn't even trying to take this global, but yeah, okay, women walking around in sheets and can't do certain, Annie kind of talked about it. Like that to some degree, if you believe in freedom and democracy, that is a problem. Yes, we can't go over there and impose our freedom on them because we pulling up on the shit and taking it over at that point. Now, even though we think we're doing something good, we become the tyrants. That was a whole debate, in the early 2000s with the Iraq War and the whole, but I'm not trying to get into that. But overall, if you do make it global, then okay, I can understand there's some horrible practices in the Middle East that's still going on. But out in the West, is there an argument that can be made to where a woman could still be walking around card-carrying feminist and it not be about her just hating men? Because what the hell they fighting for it? I'll throw that out there and I'll pass it. I didn't go around the panel have everybody give a formal introduction, but I know this is my first time seeing Jackie Jack live on camera. I didn't even know she did that. I thought it was going to be an issue when I asked her to cam up. She was like, no, I've been cammed up. But anyway, we got Jackie Jack in the building. I'm going to pass it to her. Thank you for coming through, being a part of this. So go ahead. You got it. I'll pass it to you.
Hey, you want me to answer the question?
Yeah, well, no, you can pick up right in the middle of the debate, or give a short answer to the question, or pick up right in the middle of the debate, whichever one you want to do. I'd rather you stay right in the middle of the debate, really.
Okay. Well, to address what she was saying, to address what you both were saying, I think that there's some women that are still under the impression that feminism is just about equal rights. So they'll still say they're a feminist. And then you have to like sit them down and say, okay, this is what feminists are, this is what their objectives are right now. And then sometimes they'll be like, I kind of agree with that, but I kind of don't agree with some other things. It's like you have to know what feminists are, how they're representing themselves right now. And they don't realize, some of them don't realize, like it's way past just having equal rights. So that's why I think some feminists who will take on the name of being a feminist, I don't think some of them hate men. They just think it's still in its original like inception of feminism, like just equal rights.
Right on, right on. Roddy God in the building. What's going on, man? What you got?
What up, VR? Excuse me. Yeah, you know me. I'm gonna take it to church.
Right on. Hey, I got a semi-church related question coming up, man. That one was for you, man. That one was for you.
I appreciate you. But yeah, man, no, I don't think that being a modern feminist means that they absolutely, that the two are synonymous, feminism and misandry. But I would say that the feminist has always despised God. She's always despised what she was created to be. She was created soft. She was created weaker. She was created to be protected while she, nurtured and brought up kids. She was created to be the vessel by which life comes forth. And I think that feminism has always just resented that. I think that feminism was always a kind of antichrist, kind of God-hating movement, in that it was resenting, it was resenting the natural order of things. I mean, people did not start, the human race did not begin with the United States. It's like, human beings have gotten on a certain way for thousands and thousands of years for a reason. Because the reason why those, I guess you could say social positions between a man and a woman, the reason why they existed for so long is because that is what makes sense. That is what works. Even if you don't believe in God, that is what works. And it doesn't work when you flip it around. It just creates all kinds of chaos. So no, I wouldn't say that they hate men, but they definitely hate God.
I don't know if I will go as far. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. At this point, especially after Brenda speak, then we just bouncing around, free flowing and everything. So, but go ahead. Well, I'll let you respond directly to that, and I'll throw it to Brenda. And I kind of do want you and Game Changer to go down that path, when you talked about it globally and, and everything like that. So, but go ahead, respond to what he said, and then we'll go to Brenda, and then we go from there.
Okay. I'm happy to bring it away from global, because when you talk global, it's a whole big issue. We can keep it to the to the West, because global is a big issue. It's a different thing. But going back to what
none of our business.
Well, it's none of your business when you're not the one suffering. But when you're a woman, and like me, I'm a woman, and I've got cousins that live in Africa, and I've got relatives that are women in Africa, it becomes my business, because I've got to send medications to women who are suffering from a whole lot of stuff that's going on there.
Wait, what part of Africa are they suffering from, and what are they suffering from?
Well, there's women in Nigeria who are forced to get married at the age of 15 because their parents cannot afford to look after them.
And there are women in America that can't get married at 50. How are they suffering? What is the suffrage of marriage?
You asked me how women are suffering
in
Nigeria.
My apologies. Go ahead.
And I'm just saying how the ones that I know.
No, that's not a suffer.
This is suffering when you're 15.
Well, it was a suffering going to school when I was 15. I don't want to do that crap.
Wait, let me ask you. Let me.
Suffering. Would it not be suffering at 20 if they forced them to get married at 20?
You haven't let it
suffering at all.
When you're 15 or 13 and you have to marry somebody who's 55, who already has had the opportunity of marrying 3 wives before, and the deal is that, okay, he's going to keep you till you're 18 before he starts having sex with you. But then he starts having sex with you anyway, and then your immature body becomes pregnant at 15.
And that's what's happening to you.
Nigeria doesn't have the same access to the kind of medical care that we have here. So the female mortality amongst young girls is way, way higher. So that is a problem. We don't want to ruin.
All right. Well, hold on, real quick. Hold on. Let me get it, GC. Let me get it, GC. Let me explain it like this. You initially said it's a problem that a girl would have to get married at 15 because her parents can't afford to take care of her. I'm assuming they're marrying her off to a man who could take care of her, which means she's in a situation where she's taken care of and dare I say even protected. Like, so how is that much of a problem other than it's just squeamish for us to think, a 15-year-old girl being married?
It's not just about the scream, because the scream is not a problem. People were getting married early before they found out the medical conditions that this can cause. But I don't want to read
the marriage. Hold on, wait. The marriage.
I don't want to ruin your show, so tell me when to
stop.
No.
This is wonderful. This is wonderful. That's what I want. I want debate.
Okay. So when
but wait, hold on, real quick. I want to stay on the medical things that it could cause. It's like you're saying. A woman getting married off at 15 in Africa is causing medical problems for her.
Yes.
How does getting?
It's causing problems called things like fistula. So, for example, when you're 15, right, your body is not, and when a 15-year-old in Africa does not always look like a 15-year-old in America. A 15-year-old in Africa, some look as if they're 8 or 9, just because malnutrition, whatever. They don't really grow at the same rate as Western girls. So she's carrying this pregnancy. She has the baby. Legally, it's her husband, but medically, her body was not ready for it. And then they usually suffer more tears. They usually suffer what they call a fistula. So a tear from the vaginal canal so there are a lot of young girls walking around.
That happens in adult women.
Reject them.
That happens in adult women in America too. I mean, some doctors will cut it just because the head's too big.
The episiotomy, where they cut the head, is a controlled tear. I'm a midwife, I know that. But with these girls, I'm not saying 100%, but a very high percentage. Bernard, just Google maternal problems, fistulas in Africa among young children. Just Google it. You'll see. I'm not making it up.
Annette, how much of this, real quick, Jackie Jack, how much of this is a first world problem? And I say that because the unfortunate hardcore truth is that girls they go through their first menstrual cycle, and trust me, I don't know exactly how it works, but their eggs become viable at like 12 or 13. So we take modern civilization and westernization and everything that's modern out of the equation and just strip humans down to just their rawest form. That 13-year-old girl is a viable egg carrying member of society. It's squeamish, and we cringe thinking about that because we view it like my son is 13. I don't look at when I pick him up from school, when I see the other 8th graders walking around, I don't see viable egg carrying mates, but biologically they are. So again, throughout the whole of human history, this thing that you're saying was a problem.
Has been happening, right? Women were dying. God, in those days when the women died, they would think, oh, she's dying because she's a witch. Witchcraft, she hates God, God hates her. But as we get more and more educated and we get more and more into science, we start to realize actually some of our practices, which have been going on for 4,000 years or whatever,
hundreds of thousands of years,
doing our body any good. And that's where we're now trying to change things.
Yeah, I mean, that's an element of it where nature is brutal, but we're in first world modernization, and we're trying to basically fight against nature. So I understand what you're saying. But at the end of the day, if there's a system set up to where a girl comes from someplace in poverty, she's 15 years old, and a man who has money and resources marries her, and she became wife number 3 or 4 or whatever. And on paper, he's technically not supposed to have sex with her until she gets, a little older or whatever. I mean, I don't see that as a horrible situation in a third world country. I think that's actually protecting women. Not so, but it's like you're basically saying you want more feminism to get these women more opportunities so they could grow up, take care of themselves, and don't got to be essentially under a man. Basically, that's what I'm gathering from that. But hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Okay, well, real quick, let me shout out to Super Chats. Leon 008 in the building. He says, game changer, let her talk. Beta. All right, had to hit him with it. Shout out to Counselor Murray in the building. Shout out to Counselor Murray. I keep saying, man, you got to get back together for a one-on-one. Shout out to you. Appreciate you coming through with the $10 super chat. We haven't formally heard from Brenda. Game changer, please hold your thought. We do gotta get Brenda in here. So go ahead.
All right. So for the original question, can a woman feminist not be a misandrist? Yes, 100%. Depending on, as you're hearing, what part of the world they are in, right? So to me, the way I kind of define it, it depends on which feminism, which wave of feminism are they following? As everybody said, like most feminists who are active now, everybody thinks that they're doing the equality thing, like, oh, everything's still unfair, like we're still trying to get into the system, whatever that system is. And then we have the first and second wave feminism, which was actually to enable women to get into the work field, get into academia, so that we can get better education. And so, as I'm going to 100% agree with Annette, whenever we talk about globally, as y'all know, most of y'all know, I am from Kenya. And what she's talking about is actually very prominent because it's a third world. And because of the practices, whether it's religiosity or how people are thinking, and mind you, different countries invaded our countries. In order for us to be liberated, we had to kind of start thinking for ourselves, etc. But whenever it comes to those countries, which is third world, they're the ones who we're still fighting for equality. We're still the ones who we're getting the education, and then now we're talking for them and kind of helping them educate, because our community, we have the education. So now we're trying to communicate to try to figure out how to better help them, because up to this day, they still, let's just say, they still believe like if your significant other is an alcoholic, you still are, and they're verbally, physically abusing you, you're still yet to stay with them because that's what the Bible says, etc. So we're still trying to change that to bring the equality. And so being a feminist in the first wave and second wave movement, it depends where I'm at. But in America, as I hear what Bernard is saying and Game Changer, it's not a problem over here. Now, because we're in the third, fourth wave feminism, and now these women, not all of them hate men, but how they're moving, they kind of want the superiority of a man, even if they're not qualified, and so that's where I kind of stand with it. It depends on which wave we're talking about. Is it globally? Then we're still trying to fight for equality. But if it's in the Western society, well, we're just creating problems because we don't know how great we have it.
So everything, it sounds like you was talking about that the women are doing in Africa to try to counter it. To me, that just sounds like the early stages of an uprising. So Kenyans, Nigerians, hold the line, get them in line. God damn it! All right, go ahead, GC.
Okay, so she said something interesting. How back in the day, they something about witches and something like that. See, understand this: feminists are witches. By every definition, feminists are witches. They have cats like witches. They walk around with a broom between their legs or any other type of stick like a witch. They grow old and warty alone like witches. They're witches. Let's be clear. What they're doing is witchcraft. They influence the youth like witches. They're a bunch of witches. Now, that being said, I looked up the percentage of fistula in Nigeria. And you want to know what I found out? That 3.2 out of 1,000 suffered from fistula. So they're saying that here in America, they're saying that here in America we should continue feminism because like out of 100%, 0.32 actually suffer from fistula in Africa. We should continue it here. That's bullshit. What they want to do is they want to continue feminism here so they can go on with this slut walk and all this what's that called, fat phobia and all the other crap. I don't give a damn about 3.2% of anybody anywhere. If 3.2% of people, or excuse me, 0.32% of people there, I'm pretty sure 0.32% of people are retarded. I don't, I mean, that's just something that happens to people. I don't join a movement to protect people from retarded. Like, I mean, it's just one of those things that happen. Like, 0.32% of people are midgets. Like, stuff happens to people all the time. Like you're saying that we should get, like, why would I care about and it's not like this is a truly deadly thing. This is a uncomfortable pregnancy. I looked it up. In most cases of the very rare 0.32% of them, those are just uncomfortable pregnancies. It's even rarer that something actually is torn or cut. I gives a damn about the state of 0.32% of Nigerian vaginas unless I'm fucking it. What kind of crap is? See, and that's the witchcraft.
So do you think that she's basically just using the fisting? I mean the fistula. The fistula. She's using the fistula as like cover to cloak, or just basically to help keep the party rolling on the slut walks and all the
exactly. We need feminism because of fistula. We need feminism because of fistula. If you midwife 1,000 women, only 3.2 of them have fistula out of the 1,000 women that you midwife for, which means that you have 3 regular women and a midget, and then you found a fistula situation, and you're like, oh, we got to do something about this. Western feminists unite. That's crap. That's crap.
Well,
the other 968 women of that batch are happily married with regular vaginas.
Well, we'll take a rain check on that, because happily married is a completely different thing that you can't comment on unless you're there. But how did we get here, Bernard? You said to me, because I said I'm quite happy to divorce third world problems from first world problems, and you said, oh, how do I know this is going on? And I use that as just one example. That's just one example. There are many other examples. And why did we get here? I said there's still work to be done. What I mean by there's still work to be done is there's still work to be done in these areas. Now, if we park it away from the third world, because that can take us down a rabbit hole that would keep us here for hours if I start pumping you with information, we can do that on another show. But if we bring it back to the US, you may not have as many cases. It's not the same unique problems that you're going to see in Africa. US has its own unique problems. Now, if we come back to just basic feminism, in the US and in the UK, we have gone a long way.
I don't think more
to be done. Are we not there?
Wait, I've not finished. I don't think there's much more to be done. I think here we've got to the stage where almost like the people that you're not allowed to talk to, the LGBT, whatever, you're not allowed to talk about them. But at first they were the oppressed, and then they became the equal. And now it's almost as if you feel like, well, you can't even say anything because you're going to get cancelled. So we're getting there with feminism as well. So game changer, I agree with you halfway, which is that in the West, we have reached the maximum, and we're now at a risk of actually spoiling things for women, because I actually feel like extreme feminism is actually cramping my style, if you know what I mean. I quite like the days when men were happy to talk to women and they didn't feel like they were going to get arrested. I quite like the days where men could pay me a compliment without being scared that I'm going to report them for harassment at work. I quite miss the day when men used to say, you've got a pretty dress, because men are scared to do anything now because they're going to be arrested for being for harassing people. I quite like the little flirty thing where men used to just nudge you a little bit, not grab you, but just nudge you. But in the UK, nobody touches anybody anymore. Nobody pays any compliments to anybody anymore. Nobody even makes eye contact anymore because they're scared that they're going to get reported for harassment. So I think that's one of the places where I'd say it's gone so far. And do they hate men? I don't hate men, but I would consider myself a little bit of a feminist because I do care for the cause of women in general, globally, but I'm not blind to the fact that we've gone a long way in the West and it's actually now becoming a little bit more damaging.
Well, feminism has caused way more problems than I don't get hit on anymore. I don't get attention anymore. I mean, it's way past. A guy doesn't want to talk to me out in public or at work. It's caused like serious family structure problems. So to say that feminism, I mean, I'm not into it I'm not really into it anymore because I don't get attention anymore. I don't get compliments anymore. It's kind of like it's being nonchalant about the effect that feminism has had on America.
Bars.
Jackie, of all the problems that feminism has caused, what has it solved? Because it haven't solved African fistula. So what problems have it solved?
It solved the problem of women not being, because I mean, when we first started feminism, it stopped the fact that women could not get the same jobs. It stopped the fact that women could not vote. It stopped the fact that women did not have enough representation at the beginning of the century. Like legally in this country, you had to fight or be a daughter of a baron to be able to go to university in this country, the UK. So I think feminism has done a lot. Listen.
No. What good has all of that done?
It's made women have agency over their lives. So? Hello, that is a thing. Women need to be able to have some agency over their lives.
Why?
Because in the old days, when you were walking on the street, a man could just say, they didn't even have to chat you up. Women literally were picked off the road hundreds of years ago and taken home.
No, that's horror stories. You want to know why they weren't picked? No. You want to know why they weren't picked up off the road and taken like that? Because they had men. All right, they had men that picked back. They had men with swords, and they had men that smack you in the face with a white glove and challenge you to a duel. I don't want to hear crap like that. You see, this is the horror story. They had brothers, they had fathers, they had uncles, and they shouldn't have been walking down the damn street by themselves anyway. You see, this is that whole this is that cake and eat it too thing. Okay. This is that. Listen, I want men to be men and have the desire to approach me, but I don't want to be picked up by the street. I want my sovereignty. I want to be independent. However, I want the benefits of dependency on a man. You can't have it both ways. You're going to have to give up something. Why do you want to vote so bad? See, that's the thing. You give it up. Just
you sound like something out of the 1500s. Why do women want to vote? We want to vote because we want to be able to go to school. We want to vote because we want to be able
to. Why do you want to go to school?
Rule over us. The same reason why men want to.
No. Men want to go to school to provide for and secure their family. Why do you want to go to school? Because you have a different path in life.
No, I want to go to school so that when my children bring their homework to me, I know how to read the book and teach them.
Oh, come on. You don't got to go get a bachelor's degree to be able to help a kid with some 7th grade math. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Listen, I've traveled around the world. What you don't understand is that there's still countries where men are not allowed to give medical attention to women. If there were no female doctors, who's going to look after them?
even in America.
Hello.
Yeah.
But
This is
Wait a minute. Wait. So you're saying
hey,
that
GC, you gotta let somebody else get in there too now,
excuse me.
bro.
Excuse me. You're saying that in these
We
countries,
gotta go to Rod.
in these countries, women just don't get medical attention.
No, you're not allowed to be treated by a man.
And since they don't have women doctors, wait, right quick. Since they don't have women doctors, they're not allowed medical treatment in these countries. What country is this?
No, so they
What country is this?
They
What country is this? I'm looking it up.
Go to the Middle East. They have to import female nurses to the Middle East. They have to import.
So they do have educated women. Right quick. They do have educated women in the Middle East then.
They have some. Then what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Here's the thing.
So they just let the women die?
Yeah, exactly. You see how they want to paint the horror stories of,
you know,
no, they want to paint the horror story of Imple Palpatine and Skeletor just watching a chick die like, you know, oh, I ain't giving her no medical treatment. Like, that's what they want to do. And that's why we still need feminism. But the more you push this crap, the more men are going to push away from you. You walk around the office and you like, God, I wish this man would smack me on the ass, but that was made illegal in 1954. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You walk around the office shaking it about, hoping that somebody do a Don Draper, lick the tip of his fingers and give it a swift swat. And men do not wish to do that anymore, and that's because of feminism. That's because of you, and you're still pushing it because of something that's going on in the Middle East.
All right, we got to pass it around. Hold on, real quick. Hold on, time out. Rod been trying to jump in for a minute before we go to Rod. We got Fatty. Really? That's your YouTube name, Fatty. Okay. Right to vote, schoolwork, etc. was conquered 50 years ago. Why does feminism exist in first world countries now? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And Clue Channel in the building says Lapeef B.I. Don't be telling on me. Don't be telling on me.
Look,
but
your heart out.
but go ahead, Rod.
Thank you, BR. Yeah, Annie, I wanted to ask you, and I shout out Angry Man. I was watching the live stream of his where he was, breaking down that, do you understand like the black man's perspective when it comes to feminism? How black women would be going after these rights, but yet their men were not equal, and how maybe it may have been in a lot of black women's interest that their men that they put their efforts behind their men, as opposed to efforts behind women in general.
So are you saying that the one gender has to pick up the fight for another gender and not pick up a fight for themselves as well?
No, I'm saying that. Let me clarify. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, if your men are supposed to protect you and provide for you, right? If they are disenfranchised, right, and you are as well, and you being their woman, I'm sorry, in society, right? That's what feminism is all about. You're less than them, right? Black men could vote long, I want to say hundreds of years, at least 100 years or something like that, a long time before white women could vote. You know that, right? So my question is, in terms of if the role that a man plays with a woman in society, if that man was falling behind, or that man was disenfranchised, why do you understand why some black men would have a problem or would view a feminist as misandrist if they then went and joined forces with women in general, right? But meanwhile, their men did not remain disenfranchised, and they kind of in effect kind of left their men behind in terms of those social programs. Now, I'm not a guy who wants those social programs. I'm just trying to, because you talk a lot about all of the plights of women in general globally who are oppressed. Well, then usually people who speak that way also see the race itself as oppressed. I disagree, but maybe that's the first question. Do you see the black race in general as being unequal in society?
I think they have unequal opportunities, but not unequal as individuals, not unequal as human beings. But there is certainly unequal inequalities in opportunities. Let me speak proper English.
You're fine. You're doing good. But in that framework, right? if the race, men and women, are unequal, do you see why some black men may have misinterpreted the feminist movement or black women joining the feminist movement as misandry, given that they left to go off to join those other groups, knowing that as the group as a whole there was inequality for the group as a whole?
So what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm hearing is the form of self-love that helps you fight for your own cause also is interpreted as a form of hate for your partner, just because you chose to love yourself first before trying to fight for your partner.
You straw man me like that, and I tried to go to a deeper explanation.
Well, let me hold on. It sounds like I don't know. I won't even say it sound like you said. You literally said being feminist is you loving yourself first before your partner. That's kind of weird. I'll look at it like this. I was just recently watching a stream Dr. Tiasan Johnson did, where when My Brother's Keeper came out, it was something that was just for boys. You know, it was supposed to help. It was basically programs and initiatives to help boys, and it was a lot of different things in there they were going to be doing. I don't know all the exact details, but it was made to help boys, and it was black women who were essentially, you know, card carrying feminists who pushed back against it because it was, you know, nothing in it for girls. They even got some little petition or something that had was going around. People basically they put together a campaign to get it shut down. Fast forward a couple years later, and they showed the evidence of it. Those same people were pushing for stuff that was just for girls, just for black girls. And I think, yeah, that's more or less what Rod is getting at.
Do you see? I don't see you in terms of, you know, this is what a lot of black men have experienced. It's black women like yourself who are feminists, right? But you discard and you disregard and you ignore all of the problems, like Jackie Jack was saying. You're upset that men aren't hitting on you anymore. Well, that's one of the things you miss, let's say, right? No, out of the heart, the Bible, out of the heart, that's what comes out of your mouth comes from your heart. You said that because that bothers you. It bothers you that men don't treat women like women anymore when it comes to those type of courting rituals, right? I'm sorry.
It bothers me that men have been made to feel as if they're villains. That's
when
what
you vilify us. When you talk about
that's why I said that's the negative side of where we are.
But you are vilifying men, miss. When you tell stories, when you give tales, when you give scenarios of, you know, the 55-year-old African with the big penis fistula and some 15-year-old girl, you are vilifying men. That is what you're doing. When you talk about the past and guys just come up in a chariot and swoop them off the street, you are vilifying men. Now, when you
just telling me what happens.
That's what vilifying is. You're telling these 0.32% of stories, you know, to vilify men. That is what you're doing. You're not championing the other, once again, 968 men that don't fistula chicks. You're not doing that. Or actually, no, it's more. I'm tripping. 996 of men. You're not. See, that's the thing. You are vilifying men. You are the reason why men are looking like villains. And that's
exactly
why,
because black men were never black men never oppressed black women like that. That's what I'm getting at. It's like you join up with this group of women who were being, let's say they were being oppressed, which, I mean, if you really look at it, were they? But let's give the benefit of the doubt. You join up with them. Your men weren't doing that. And then the thing that came out of your heart was, I wish men would be a little more flirty. It's like, come on, you exposed.
I like that accent.
I know.
I like that attempt at the accent. But let's pass it to.
So let me.
Yeah, go ahead, Brenda. No, I was about to pass you anyway. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you. So one thing that I have come to understand whenever it comes to vilifying men, if you're not for them, then you're against them. Like, there's no in between, wishy-washy type of thing. And whenever Rod God actually brought up the fact that in looking at a magnet of Black men. I do have an anecdote that kind of happened in a hospital setting. I was a CNA in that hospital, and I did see what he was talking about, because nobody actually stood up for this Black man. Because I was trying to get the story, what happened to them, and the person who who reported them, they were kind of the I'm better type of I'm better than you. She just, I could tell what kind of wave of feminism she was in, but exactly that, we're not actually standing up for our Black men. And Malcolm X said, whenever he was fighting for women, okay, to come up, protecting us, saying that, the most oppressed person in the world is Black women. But yet again, the same
Man,
person
y'all gonna ride that all the way to the year of 3000. I swear, yeah.
We are. So whenever he said that, okay, he's protecting us, but we're not even protecting our Black men. And so whenever we vilify them, like if you're not for them, you're against them. So we're actually vilifying them. And so whenever we do join these feminist movement and our men are not with it, then are not in the same team, then what are we doing? And so that's actually the other part of it. And so if we're going with one way feminism, then especially third and fourth wave, you're kind of leaving your men behind. But if he explains, okay, this is what I need you to do, because I'm feeling this way, take the feelings off the table, because at the end of the day, they have it the hardest. Black men do have the hardest. That's when I started joining these. I needed to hear their side of the story. And so I don't know what to say about that, but I don't want to villainize Black men.
I don't think Black men want, if I can just finish this right quick, GC, I don't think Black men want your protection. I don't think that, we think that we need your support. We're men. The point we're making is, how can we, how can you be our women when you're going and you're joining forces with women and their plights and their causes with their men that was never existent in the Black dynamic in terms of the way our families work. That color purple shit, that is not true. That is not. We grew up, we saw our parents, our grandparents. They were people. They had their problems, but they got on with life. That's the point. Mm-hmm. And you notice Annie is silent.
I'm only silent because I'm being polite. In England, we don't interrupt people when they're speaking.
Bullshit. But no. I appreciate that you were talking a lot, and you fell back at the proper time, just because I do want to throw it to Jackie Jack. So yeah.
I mean, all I want to say is she said that women should care about themselves before they care about men. I agree that they should care about themselves, but I think that caring about your men and advocating for your men is self-love. If your men are slacking, you're right behind them, the slacking. So that is self-love, caring about them getting their rights or them progressing. All of that stuff is self-love for you. You will benefit from that.
Or just cooking, cleaning, supporting, having, holding down the home, that'll do. We'll take care of our rights.
I find it quite interesting that you think that a normal human response is a problem. Every animal on this earth, human beings included, look after number one first. Anybody.
But hold on. But when you
hold on, right quick. That is not number one.
Why that's the problem?
That is not number one. And what are you talking about? Every animal on that planet. There isn't a feminist animal out there besides humans. Name the lion. Wait. Right quick. Name the lion feminist. Okay. Name the lion feminist. No. Be English. You're interrupting. Name the lion feminist. Name that lion out there that's out there. The alpha lion gets the lion's share. You want to know why? Because he's a lion and he has the penis. It's a dictatorship. He has the dick. They get him taters and shit. That's how that works. That is how all the animals work. That's how all the mammals work. Except the crappy ones. Why? Because feminism sucks. And it's stopping women from sucking. Listen, and then you say it's self-love. How is it self-love How is it self-love when it's about Nigerian fistula? That's not yourself. Did you suffer from fistula? That's not about yourself.
I
This is
didn't, but
about
I was
right quick. This is about chicks.
whether I
This
knew
is about
what
other
to
people.
prefer.
This is about
And
other
I
people's
answered the
vagina. It is
question.
not a self thing. If it's about self, you would be focused on your own vagina and getting the best penis in it. You know,
There's
that
more
is
to me than my vagina, honey.
huh?
Okay, I know you like to reduce everybody to penises and vagina, and that in itself is a problem.
That is
because
not a problem.
But I think you get the analogy.
That is not a problem. Well, okay. Well,
Game changer. She said you need therapy.
okay. Well, put it like this: it's still not yours. You know, stop saying it's self-love when it's about foreign vaginas. You know, you're the one who brought up fistula. That's you bringing up vaginas.
Did you not ask me? Did you?
No,
when I said
he asked you why is feminism needed, and you said African vaginas. Let's be clear.
All right,
you brought up vaginas.
All right, let me take it this way. This is important the direction to take this. Now, when she talked about a woman having feminist leanings or going in the direction of feminism, she defined it. She defined it as that's self-care, taking care of number one. But to say that means that you're defining yourself and women as a whole as separate and apart from men. Snuggles asked a good question. Hold on, wait. Okay, but okay. Now answer this question. Can any of you people explain what the purpose of men before you all continue with this conversation? So Annette, what is the purpose of a man?
The purpose of a man is to be a provider and a protector, to be the father of my children.
Do you see how you just hold on. Wait. Time out. Do you see how you considered self-love and taking care of yourself first that's joining feminism and that basic hold on, wait a minute. And you said, and I said that's basically you defining yourself or women as separate and apart from men. And then when the question was asked, how do you define men? The first thing you said, his job is to protect and provide for a woman. So a man's job is connected in lockstep with the woman. But when you define, hold on. You said you English folks don't interrupt. Okay. You said you English folks don't interrupt.
You're training me.
Do you see the contradiction? You said you see yourself as a woman as separate and apart from men, and that's why you need to take care of self first, and that's why feminism is important for women. I asked you, what is a man's role? What is a man's job? What is a man's purpose? And you defined him as taking care of, protecting, and providing for a woman. So he's only defined by what he could do for you, but you defined separately by what you can do without him.
I see your point. Before he can provide and protect me, he still needs to protect himself first. He needs to be alive and protect himself before he can mean. What does that mean? What's that?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Spin move.
So yes, of course, everybody needs to look after themselves first. This is just normal, Even on the plane, they're going to tell you.
Feminism, you looking out for yourself first? Or are you looking at a system? Are you looking for a system constructed and built? Are you looking for a system constructed and built by men to look out for you and take care of you?
Oh, you're going to pull that system constructed by men.
Yes.
It will take me 3 minutes to diminish that argument because I can Google. I'm a very good researcher. Women invent a whole lot of things too. But that's a different program. Banana.
But you just said that men are providers and protectors.
I am a traditional woman, but I am not going to put women under the bus and say that women have never needed protection over time. Of course they have. But does that mean we should hate all men? Of course not. Game changer. And please don't interrupt, because if you do, I know I will have to buckle because you're able to talk more than I am, more forcefully than I am. But when I talked about the fistula, that does not equate to me villainizing men. I was just answering a question. You said why is it a problem for a 15-year-old to marry a 55-year-old? And I just submitted one example. How that translates to me saying that all men are bad, I don't know how you got there. Because I was just giving an example of one thing, why a 15-year-old should not marry a 55-year-old and what happens in some cases. How did we change that to me saying all men cause this problem? How?
Okay.
I want to understand how that.
Fair enough. I'll do that. For one, I didn't say all, but I will say that all of the scenarios you have given have one thing in common, and that is a vilified man. So even though fistula accounts for 0.32% of the entire Nigerian population, 100% of the stories you told vilified men. Now, once again, you say that this is about self-love, but these are 15-year-old Nigerian girls, and you are not a 15-year-old Nigerian girl. This has nothing to do with self. This is about the well-being of others. You also mentioned like Middle Eastern girls and healthcare. This is not about self. This is about the well-being of others. You see, here's the problem with feminists. You skip family. Okay, so say a person's list of priorities should be self, family, immediate community, and then global community, right? Now, you went self, you skipped your own family, you skipped immediate community, the Afro-British community. You skipped. Let me rock. British, don't interrupt. You skipped.
You should have never said that.
You skipped.
Right.
Hold on. You skipped all of England. You skipped all of the Western world, and then you set your priority from self to Nigerian vajayjay. That is ridiculous. And the reason why they get fistula is because it's ridiculous. Listen, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't live on a continent with the biggest penis in the world and expect that some of them don't get fistulaed. That's just a byproduct of big penis. You can't have both. You can't have your dick and not fistula too. That's just ridiculous.
Can we not use? Can we defund the word fistula?
Yeah,
I never heard of it until today. This is my first time.
So few people actually did it.
You see, game changer. My reply to you would be, and but tell me when it's time for me to keep quiet, because
No, you're fine. Go ahead. But hold on, wait, real quick. Hold on, right now, actually. Shout out to Theo Waff in the building with the $100 super chat. Definitely appreciate that, brother. He says, passport. Avoid the UK. Avoid the UK. That's Oh no, don't nobody be passporting out there. Never mind. I thought that was I heard somebody on the stream talking about that was one of the destinations, but anyway, it's a passport. Avoid the UK. She is a traditional feminist. What a nightmare. They don't understand who men are. Men, Brazilians ain't like this. Hint, hint. Shout out to Theo. Do appreciate you. And shout out to young Dolph. Yes, that Dolph. The Adolf. Shout out to young Dolph, a moderate feminist. Yes, a radical feminist. Yeah. Shout out to young Dolph. Shout out to Deanie in the building. He says, "Rod of God." And hey, I was gonna say something about it, man. I see you trying to get fresh over there with the pink
hell,
color.
man.
I see you styling, man. I saw that. I wasn't gonna say that.
I ain't got a haircut, so I'm trying to hide all my wolfing.
Trying to hide that kitchen back there. Yeah, I see. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's been supporting the stream. Appreciate each and every one of you. All right, go ahead, Annie, and we'll I don't know, we might move on to the second topic. The second topic I'm going to go into kind of segues a little bit, but go ahead, Annie.
Annie?
Weren't you trying to talk?
I think she froze.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, she the live okay, party too. She gotta come back.
Yeah. Actually, as she's coming back, hopefully she can hear me. But one thing about feminist movement, whenever it was created in America, it was there are a couple of trigger words, and I was discussing this with one of my conservative friends maybe 2 years ago. Whenever we're trying to figure out what does equality and equity mean? And so how he described it, he was actually really great at telling me this, but feminist movement kind of put this word, you deserve, okay, that kind of, the feminists took it and they ran away with it, because you deserve self-love, you deserve this, you know, have your cake and eat it too type of thing, you deserve everything. And so whenever she's saying, oh, self-care should come first, like I love myself first, it depends how you describe it, because as a, you know, as a caregiver, like my love language is self-service. Like I will serve everybody, and I ran myself down to the point that now I have to do the reverse. I have to take care of myself first before I serve everybody else. And I think that's what it is. Feminism actually disregard about taking care of everybody else. So that's where I understand where everybody's coming from, especially from a biblical standpoint, where a man and a woman, like it's all about service to each other, you know? And so whenever with feminism, they kind of disregard that. They're like, it's all about me, you know, type of thing. And so that me has kind of created this, it's what I want. And in sociology, whenever I was actually studying it not too long ago, we're in the wave of individualism. So now we don't have traditional roles, families, or anything. It's an anomaly, like to talk even about families and stuff like that. And feminism has created that problem. And also, if we look at the people who created the birth controls, or you know, all these Planned Parenthood, there were men on the table, but women were presenting it. But men were there to actually fix the problem, probably women that represented it. And so it became like, okay, who was actually at the table? Why did they actually do it the way they did? And so it has been a diluted message, in my opinion. So we have lost the reason of why feminism actually existed in the first place. Until we address that, the third and fourth wave, feminism is just, we're just lost now. And so that's why this conversation is trying to bring it back to the,
and with the Planned Parenthood piece, with the Planned Parenthood piece, you know, really like the origins of that, you know, is rooted in eugenics. And you know, it makes sense, you know, they try to you know, clean that up, but that is really what it was about. And it makes sense because which group of people, which tribe has been the most impacted by Planned Parenthood? Ours. Annie,
exactly. And I'm Catholic, so that's another thing itself. But
All right. No, good stuff. Glad you're back, Annie. I thought we lost you. Thought we lost you for a moment, but I know.
I live in the bush. I live in the sticks in the UK, so our internet just sometimes goes off for no reason.
Yeah. I think that was Sandra last who had that. I told her she lived in the ghetto of China, and her internet wasn't working. But all right. Well, go ahead, Game Changer. He's about to say something. I was going to go to another question, but no, you definitely know if you got something else you want to put on this, go ahead.
Yeah, when somebody talk about Planned Parenthood, all I see is self-love. Like, I mean, you know, it's like, I mean, because that's in essence what's going on. It's like, F this, baby, I love myself.
Ooh,
it's all about me.
Yeah, so it's so diluted.
Can you guys hear me, or am I breaking up?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so the self-love thing, I think what you're doing is quite, I'll call it interesting. Some Americans would call it disingenuous, but I'll just call it interesting. Now, what you're doing is you're weaving everything I say into one argument. But these are all three different fragments of information that I gave you, but you're weaving it into one. You said, why did I start with self-love? No, I didn't. I started with the fact that women were marrying too young. And then where the self-love came in was when Word of God asked me whether or not we should be fighting for the men. You see, I remember.
That's not what I said.
What was the question?
I was saying, do you think that Black men might misinterpret Black feminism as misandry because you were taken up with another group when your men were not oppressing you like that? Not that you needed to fight for us, but that women could be submissive and be women are women so that we can fight those fights. Sorry, that's what I meant.
So based on what you're asking me now, and based on what I've heard and how things can be interpreted, then my answer would be yes. Because I think that not necessarily because it's happening, but because it's perceived by the men that any war that you're fighting for a woman's cause, i.e. the right to vote, the right to whatever, even if it might have been 70 years ago, I'm just using that as one example, equates to not fighting for the man. And where self-love comes from is that as a woman, we were more worried about the problems that were facing women. We had to deal with that first, or we couldn't leave our own problems and start fighting the men's problem. We can either try to do it simultaneously, but when push comes to the shove, you fight for your cause first. That's a normal reaction.
Now you see that? You see that?
That's a normal reaction.
Oh, wait, go ahead, GC.
You see how she identifies our cause? You see how she identifies self? She don't see self as my husband, my sons, my family, my brothers, my race. She don't see self as that. She sees self as my gender. And that is the problem with feminism.
Right now.
No. You say look after the concerns of women first. That's my point. So that is how you define self, miss. And might I say that, you know, who's going to marry a chick who don't view family first?
His name is Moses.
Huh?
You're not talking about you personally.
What did she
I'm
say?
talking about in general. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about it in general.
No, I would just it was. See, I wasn't trying to get personal, but it is worth saying. And she's talking all this shit, but she's currently being taken care of by a man. So it's all cap.
This isn't about the individual, but you know, I mean, that man should know that when push comes to shove, she's focused on herself. You know, like, I mean, that was her self. That was her self-preservation plan. You know,
she's thinking about that one.
Hold on. So yeah, I'm thinking. So you're saying if I have to choose a cause on how female reproductive health can move forward, things that are going to benefit women, I'm doing something wrong by going for that. Yes. I should rather ignore the women and go for something that would benefit male reproductive health. I'm a woman.
No. You threw in the male reproductive health. What you
care more about? So I wouldn't care more about.
No. You're not a woman. You're not a woman. You're a wife first. You're a daughter first. You're a sister first. You know, you're all this stuff first. You know, and you need to put the priorities of your family. You need to prioritize your family, the male members of your family included, over all others. Over all, you know, I don't care about a Zimbabwe vajayjay or anything like that. You need to put your family first.
Right. Okay. So if you're saying that we're taking it away now from just let's talk about gender and let's talk about female and male problems, feminism and whatever, if you're bringing it down to the level of individuals,
not individual, family.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying bringing it down from what I thought this was a discussion about structural issues going on in the world, i.e. maybe America. But if we're bringing it down to an individual level, of course I care more about my family. Of course, if I'm going to say
no, you don't. You know who care? You know who care about their family? Mad women. You know what mad women is? There are mothers against drunk drivers. Okay, these are the ones that care about their families. These are the ones who, if you have to listen to me. If you have to pick an issue, they picked one that affected their family directly. They didn't care about the Malaysian vajayjays, you know, of the world, because they're women too. They said, I want to do something to protect the male and female members of my family. PTA is full of actual women who's concerned about their families. You know, they're every time, like those people that go around looking for like kidnappers and stuff like that, these are the ones who care about their family. No, what you care about is you don't see family because it has men in it. You just see some, a woman is hurt. I don't care about the people in my immediate circle, the people that share my Dana. No, I care about the plight of the international women and the movement and embetterment of women. See, that's the thing. even if it's at the expense of men. Because what you're doing is you are trying to change a culture for the 3.2 out of 1,000 women out there. That is ridiculous because by changing the culture, the other 996 people are going to suffer. But you don't care about those people because you feel that they're men. See, that is the problem. That's why you're witches.
Okay.
All right. I do want to well, real quick. Shout out to somebody's cell phone going off.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay, shout out to Captain Cisco. He says, "Does Annette know where Jessica X at?" I think y'all are in the same.
He's in England, yes.
Y'all in the same area. Yeah, go pull up on her. And I don't know how. I had a joke that I'm going to keep to myself. All right. Captain Cisco also says, "What age should Annette? What age should a woman get married?"
I don't really have any view about that. They shouldn't be getting married at 13, though.
Straw man.
Legally, no, but that's how I feel.
But you have to be honest. You have an opinion about when a woman should get married.
Mm-hmm.
I think the earliest a woman should get married, in my view, is 18.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, that was an answer. I mean, it wasn't a bad one.
No.
Wasn't a bad one at all. I mean, that actually makes sense.
18.
That makes sense to me. Well, all right.
And I think having your children, I'm freezing again.
Oh. No, there you go. You're good. You're back now.
You okay?
All right. So going to the next question, and I'll go to Rod with this one first because this is kind of in his wheelhouse. If submission is a biblical concept, which I believe it is, I could be wrong about that, but I believe it's mostly a religious concept, but we'll tease that out. But anyway, so if submission is a biblical concept, should non-religious, non-Christian folk be talking about it so much when they're in these type of relationship discussions?
Bars. That's a great question. I do think that submission in terms of a woman submitting to a man, I do think it is based in the Judeo-Christian value system because in terms of Western society, but in terms of like just globally, all peoples of over all time, submission is just natural. Submission, like he's stronger, he can protect you, he can provide for you. So if someone is doing that, who would then, be contentious with that person who was physically stronger than you? It can actually provide for you. It was literally life or death for you. So I do think it's a natural submission is just a natural phenomenon. And I think that it's unnatural when you get into first world countries where, over civilization kind of occurs, where now, the things that people were dependent on each other upon, that the sexes were dependent on each other for, no longer needed. Women now no longer need men to protect and provide because they can call the cops and they can get jobs. Men no longer need women for sex because they can go online and watch or buy a toy. So it's like
you was about to say watch porn. I
don't want to mess up your ass.
No, I was just saying that's our thing. That's they got their toys. We got our
right.
Pornhub.
I mean, some dudes be having the robot stuff. Yeah. So the point I'm making is that it's a debased society. It's a satanic society that tries to go against that natural order. That answers your question. The men in this space talking about submission when they are out of one corner of their mouth, while the other corner of their mouth, they always like shout out fantastic. The guy hating dudes, the guy hating ninjas. I do think that that's an interesting point because it's like in terms of if you are this worldly man and you reject the Judeo-Christian faith, you reject the religiosity of the world, how can you then be coming along making that argument? That is an excellent question. I'm not sure if I have the answer yet, but this would be a good discussion.
All right. Real quick before I move on, LAR movement might be a little bit behind the stream. Shout out to LAR, a legend in the game. Asking when did 13 become a woman? He might be a little behind on the stream asking that question. But shoot, when I put together panels like this, LAR be perfect for these. if I can get them on here. Also got a shout out. Crimson Cure in the building. Says seems like this has been an interesting conversation. We'll have to run this back later. Hey, Bernard, Riley, and panel. Shout out to the Crimson Cure in the building. Shout out to Evie now. Says shout out to the BR Network, man. Listen, cut it out. I started about changing it to that. I did have a plan of doing something network like, where I was, it was back when Lil Big Nate lost his channel. I was about to do something where I was going to have people, who don't got channels, come and, and basically do their show on my stuff and do something like, the Bernard Riley Network. I did think about that. I'll probably never go full gangster like that, but I am copying Lapeef Network style. All right, I admitted it. Y'all can quit saying it in the chat.
Mask
all
off.
Right. All right.
It's okay. Give credit where it's due.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt. But all right. Let's hold on. I just want to say this to that question because whether or not submission is a biblical concept or not, I do agree with somebody said. I clicked on it. I had it up. I do think it's natural. Ideally, in an ideal, perfect world, strip it of modern society, it is a natural thing. So, but the concepts of it in writing, if we go back through human history, I don't know if it was discussed in a non-religious, non-biblical concept. So the concept does come from there. So that's something that me as a non-religious person, I did do some thinking about that. I be talking about submission a lot, but if it's a biblical or religious concept, then why am I harping in on it as much? But anyway, that's a question that I thought about for myself. I did want to throw that to Rod of God. I'm gonna go to Game Changer, and I'm gonna go down, go to the ladies. I take it Game Changer got something to say about that. But shout out to you again, Evie. Now appreciate the super chat. Appreciate everybody who's supporting the stream. Go ahead, GC, you got it.
Yeah, so submission is deeper than religion because it's globally spans. Cultures that don't really meet or interact with each other have submission, female submission to men at its core. The ancient Romans who were not Abrahamically religious, but they had their own religion that was rooted in female submission, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But pretty much you can go anywhere, and get me a sandwich is universal. The only thing that changed is the thing that she get. You go to the ancient Chinese civilizations and it's like, get me some rice. You go to the ancient African societies and they like, get me some fufu. You go to the ancient Mayans and they say, get me some tacos. Everywhere you go is a woman gathering some stuff for her man. That's what they are. They're gatherers, hunter-gatherers.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's where the hunter and gathering came from. They didn't have sandwiches back then. They had to gather some berries, goddammit. Yeah,
exactly. It's not really religion, it's a matter of human nature. And all religions, they is a reflection of the nature of the culture that they have, whether you worship Odin, whether you worship Zeus or Jupiter or something like that. It's all the same. It's in the sense that it's about a woman getting her man something. That's how that works. It is speaking to the core of human nature, and modern feminists are behaving in an unnatural way, and that's what witches are. You see, let's be clear. There's always been a thing. Witches are relatively modern.
My broomstick.
Oh shit! We knew it. We knew it.
I told y'all. But no, there's always been.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, no problem. But no, there's always been something. There's always been something out there for women to for people to label these outlier women. They called them harpies. They called them sirens. They called them succubus and incubi if you're a guy. There's always been something to identify derelict women, to identify these rogue women. Feminism is the newest word for it, but witches was one of the words. It's a derelict woman. They're outliers. They're mutants that come in and spew their garbage. And society had various ways of dealing with them. And look what happened. The moment we stopped with the stakes, things just go out of proportion. It goes out of it goes out of whack.
All right, we're gonna pass it down. We're gonna go to Jackie Jack, but shout out to Ryan Cipher in the building, says just showing support. Shout out to Theo, definitely shout out to Theo. Hey, I would love to have Crimson on one of these. I want to grow it and get it a little bigger, than probably rotate in some bigger names and everything. But Nigerian Flex in the building says shout out to GC going toe to toe with the final boss of feminism in the UK, Nigerian woman. Also, watch out for 419 Feminist.
419.
419. What is 419?
Term for fraud. It's the number for fraud in the legislative books in Nigeria. Section 419. So basically, he's calling me a fraud.
You would know. He's
calling me a fraud.
Oh, because you're married? He's calling you a fraud because you're married?
He's calling me a fraud because I said that I'm going for the I care for the rights of women, and that's interpreted by most, it seems, as that means that I don't care for the rights of men. Which I find a bit strange. But
all right, yeah, you kind of demonstrated that earlier, but anyway, all right, we going to Jackie. Go ahead, you got the floor, you got the mic. You need me to repeat the question?
No,
or maybe this question is small enough that I can actually put it. Well, probably can't put it on the screen. Probably too many characters. But go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback off Game Changer and Rod of God. It's submission is basic. It's a natural thing. I don't think it's just religion, because people have to submit to their job. People have to submit to a goal. So I think if you have a goal or a task you need to get done, and other people are working with you and you're the leader of it, you're gonna have people submitting to you to get that done. So it's just like being a leader and having followers. They submit to your plan. So I think when it comes to women not want to do submission, they just don't want to submit to that man's plans. They want to do their own thing. They want somebody else to submit to their plans.
We're gonna go to Brenda. We're gonna save Annie for last on this one. Who knows what she gonna say? We might not even make it to Brenda after Annie says something crazy. So go ahead, Brenda.
No, I have to definitely agree with Jackie, because in order to understand submission, we have to define what it is. If you Google it, it says the action of fact or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force to the will or authority of another person. So, and exactly that, you have to be under a mission sub. So if you break it down, and so naturally that's how we're supposed to do, because you can't have too many heads leading, right? That's how Medusa was kind of created. And whenever it comes to even submitting under a man, the reason why we do have divorce, in the words of Dr. Miles Monroe, he did say you can't have two visions under a same household, because it does create that division. And so in order to understand if we're applying it biblically, is just submitting under whatever that man's purpose is, as being a woman, I'm a helpmate. And if you don't believe in the Bible or religiosity, yes, they have used the same concept. It's just they don't call it submission, but that's what it actually is. You have to be under something so you don't die at the end of the day. That's what it is. It's all basic survival. You just have to follow the rules. That's what we have: rules, we have laws, we have everything to make sure we're safe. But the people who don't want to be safe either are the ones who are creating the chaotic environment, and or they really don't care for other people. And so, yeah.
All right. Good answer. The question on the table is, if submission is a biblical concept, should non-religious, non-Christian people be talking about it so much when they're discussing relationships? And I thought you froze for a second, but go ahead. And you got it. Oh no, you hear it. No, it looked like you kind of
very close to my router, so hopefully it won't freeze again.
Router.
Yeah, we still use routers over here. The internet.
Use routers.
Yeah,
routers.
We call them routers.
You call it router. We call it. I'm just messing with the accent. Go ahead.
We love your accent.
Thank you. So submission, yes, as a biblical concept is true, and you've all defined it. But my view is that yes, there should be submission. But okay, game changer. I know you're gonna explode, but please don't. Just let me finish. Yeah. The Bible talks about submission in Ephesians. It talks about it in 3 verses as it pertains to how women should submit to men. But then straight immediately after that, the 5 verses that follow also say that men should not submit but provide and protect for women. And when you look at both parts together, what that tells me is that for a relationship to work, there has to be a kind of working together. So I'll use me and my partner as an example. I submit to him. He makes the final decision, but he also asks me what I think about what we're doing. And most times, a lot of the time he lets me do what I want. But when it's a big decision, and if he really feels strongly about it, for example, I've wanted a dog for the past 10 years and I'm not able to get a dog because he says the day you get the dog is the day I go. So I've had to like give up my wanting of a dog.
Well, he already got a German Shepherd in the house, right?
He's got a cute little puppy, he's got a fluffy Yorkshire Terrier.
Shout out to Mr. Jazz.
So what I'm saying, I think going more seriously now, when we hear people talking in the manosphere and we hear people talking online, what I think their idea of submission is the old school idea of submission, be seen and not be heard. And like Chaos would say, all the man wants is sandwiches, sex, and silence. If you get a woman who gives you sandwiches and sex and never speaks, you're going to be miserable. You know what I mean? So I think that submission is fine, but not necessarily in the way that some people think. Like really progressive men allow their wives to have a personality.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why did you?
Right quick.
Hold on, wait. Let me just hear real quick what Jackie Jack was going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why did you refer to your husband as a partner?
Because we're not married.
Okay.
We're just together.
All right.
What?
So are you married by common law? Like since y'all live together?
By common law, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so technically it's still marriage.
How long do it take to establish common law?
I don't know. We never bother checking with things like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen. I don't even want to.
I've been married before. I was married for 22 years.
Yeah. I don't want to make it too personal, but y'all are living as if y'all married, but y'all haven't signed no documents or whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
I ain't tripping. But all right. Damn, where was I going? Oh wait, no, Jackie Jack, you did ask that question. Yeah, I didn't even. It slipped. It went right over my head, just like the German Shepherd comment went over her head. That went over my head when she said partner. She didn't catch that. But all right, cool. All right, game changer. You did want to jump in on something that it was man. It was. I'm just gonna let you have it. I think I know where you're going because there was a couple cringy moments where she was doing. Go ahead, game changer. Go ahead.
So when she say, sex submission and silence is man's misery, no, it is not. No, it is not. You want to know what's misery? Not having those things. A woman who won't fuck you, who won't get you a sandwich, and who won't shut the fuck up. That is misery, okay? That is more miserable than a woman who provides all those things. So, yeah, I mean, granted, we may miss some of the wisdom that, women believe that they have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's not talking about we want to mute our wives or something like that.
That was the part. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. To say that it's misery to have sex submission and silence is ridiculous. It's misery without it. And don't the Bible say blah, 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 hot tin roof, then to be with a bitch that talk too much? And don't the Bible say, bitch, shut the fuck up and put a hat on in church? Like, the Bible is full of shut the fuck up. Women, like, so, yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but I'll tell you what I won't paraphrase, and that's this passage right here on page 2, Genesis.
Get out of there.
No, it's right here. It says explicitly, unto thy woman, he said, and by he, they're talking about God. And this isn't like through one of his disciples or filtered through some burning bush somewhere. This is his words. He says, it says, unto the woman, he said, I greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In thy sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be for thy husband. Now, not for thyself. It doesn't say for thyself, or it doesn't say for thy Nigerian African vaginas. It says for thy husband. The desire shall be for thy husband. And I quote, and he shall rule over thee. He shall rule over thee. Period. That's what he said to 100% of the women that existed at that time. Everything else is crap. Everything else came filtered through prophets, through burning bushes, through whales. Everything else is crap. God directly said to thy women, he shall rule over thee, period. Even on your period.
That's Genesis 3:16. I know that verse. But
good. Then apply it.
Yeah, but what you Bernard, do you just want us to argue, or do you want us to
keep going?
No, it's all good. I mean, part of the I like disagreements. I like disagreements. That's part of the show.
Learn a lot.
So the thing is, I mean, I personally
gender war is in the title and thumbnail for a reason. Exactly. It's okay to disagree. All right.
I personally, Annie personally, am submitting.
Well, right quick. Let me just interrupt because Trina said something. You know now, Trina, listen. He didn't say unto the Eve. He said unto the woman. He didn't say unto Eve. He said unto the woman. Get it right. Don't see, and why do all of y'all still experience pain in childbirth? Because God said so. It's not just Eve that has a painful childbirth. And another thing, you know, the painful childbirth is fistula.
I was just about to say fistula is the punishment.
Fistula is in the Bible.
For not submitting.
It's in the Bible. And the more fistula you get, the more God cursed you. Right. Like that's for not submitting. So yeah, there you have it.
Right. Okay. It's all, we're all being punished with all these diseases that everybody has in the world.
For not submitting.
But hold on, before we go further, man, that was funny as hell. But what Crimson Cure is saying right here, and this I think just sort of segues in.
I want to chat with her.
You want to? Hey, the link always there. Well, she said she had to do some stuff, but hell, just in case you want to come up, I'll throw that link in the chat for her if she got a minute. But hold on, real quick. Hold on. Click, clack, boom. All right. Submission is not slavery and should never be thought of to be treated as such. I was submissive, but I had value, and so did my opinions to my husband. He asked me what I thought about decisions. Now you're clapping on that, and that was never not on the table. A woman's opinion. Right. So I don't even know why you front loaded the discussion about submission with a woman being mute and silent and never talking. See, that goes back to Game Changer's point, to where even when you talk about this, even when you talk about something like submission that you're doing, you still want to cloak it in making men the villain of some sort, of villainizing men. That's ultimately what you did.
No.
That's ultimately what you did. Otherwise, you would not have even introduced the whole notion of you want to introduce that whole notion of a woman being mute just simply because she's submitted. Like where are you getting that from? That a woman can't talk, she can't have an opinion.
Reference was from.
Hey, everybody! I put that link in the chat for Crimson Cure if she wanted to come up. Oh, and LAR could take that too. That's what that link was in the chat for. That wouldn't have just a free for all. Not yet. I'll probably bring people up later, but you know, somebody a heavy hitter come through and want to come up. I'll put it in the chat for them. But go ahead.
Yeah, I told you where the reference came from. I said, "Am I?"
No, you here?
Okay. Yeah, I said that reference comes from Kevin Samuel's talking point. And I personally know that Kevin Samuels doesn't mean
Hey, Jackie, you got a little fan club growing. I don't know if you know this. You got a little fan club down there.
There are people
Thank you.
who think that that's what it means online.
They think that it means what?
That a woman literally should not speak.
She's talking about Kevin Samuel saying
Oh my
silence.
gosh.
People
They don't
misinterpret
believe
what
that.
he's saying. I've seen people write about it.
It's Kevin's
Who?
extreme,
Who?
you know.
Who?
He just has to say the way he knows how to.
Who? You got me sounding like an owl. Who wrote about that? Who?
I'm not going to tell you their name straight. We're on StreamYard chatting. I'd have to go online and, try and go and pick it all out.
Oh, you're talking about chat room people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They actually do. Okay, those are the ones who are not as educated about like the topic itself.
There's
in my
hundreds
opinion,
of thousands of them, though.
Yeah, and
Most
that's actually where the problem lies with.
No, people go online to be
with everything.
flamboyant.
Should I say?
They don't believe. They don't believe that. They go online.
And depending
to be
what kind of
flamboyant.
facade they're putting online too.
Brenda, I agree with you. This is what I'm trying to say. Myself and Bernard and Rod of God and Game Changer, we're civilized people. We know how to dissect, the wheat from the chaff. We know how to, we can think properly. But there's hundreds of thousands of people online who actually take everything literally and believe what they're hearing. And this is why when I speak, have to explain that sex, sandwich, and silence, even though I know Kevin doesn't mean it in that way, doesn't necessarily mean you need a woman to literally not speak. Now, in the eyes of these same people,
I don't think nobody interpreted it that way.
People do. Just go on Lapif's group. Go into all the groups. There are people who really think that. People seeing the three of us sitting here, having a discussion with these gentlemen, are going to say we're being combative and we're being masculine.
No.
Not you, but there are people who believe that.
It's true.
There are people who believe that. And there's a lot more on
Do you think people? Okay, I was reading the chat. I was reading what somebody typed in the chat. You're saying that there's people who are going to say that the three of you are being combative and masculine.
If you say anything that's disagreeing with a man, yes.
No, that's not true, because Brenda was disagreeing earlier.
Energy.
I didn't think she was combative or masculine. See, that's where you start straw manning all the arguments. You try to you leap to that extreme. Like, that's an extreme to say that if a woman is disagreeing at all, she's being combative or masculine. And I think you do that to try to lump it all in, to confuse and conquer. So at the end of the day, the combative and masculine chicks, the true combative and masculine chicks, get a pass because you're trying to just lump it all in together as one big thing, as if we can't be precise and say that, no, this chick just gave a legitimate disagreement and we had a conversation about it, but this one over here was just some out-of-pocket bitch. Like, we know the difference.
So you think I'm trying to give people a pass? Is that how you interpret?
I think that's why you're trying to muddy the waters and try to say any woman just having any disagreement, then she's just being combative and masculine. You're trying to do that to low-key put a cape on for the combative and masculine. I think that's what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Because you do tend to go to these extremes, which it's hard to argue against that extreme, and then it kind of makes it where the debate on the discussion, like at the real merits of the debate, it gets lost because you take it to this extreme.
Right. Okay.
Right, real quick.
Down to the middle. I don't know that I'm doing that.
Well, let me jump to the super chats real quick. Perfect Blackness in the building. He says, my South African wife give me sandwich, silence, and all the sex I want when I want it. I couldn't be happier. Yeah, she tried to argue that we got going to be happy getting, sex, sex, silence, and sandwich if we don't let her speak and have her opinion. Yeah, come on, you guys. Nigerian Flex in the building says, clip it. I called it. The 419 feminist ain't even married over there spitting the Bible passages while talking about being in a partnership. Just shout out to the international millionaire, said it doesn't make sense to say you want a monogamous relationship, then cut the sex off at free will. We'll use that. We'll start right there. That'll be the next question on the table. Yeah, y'all can super chat questions. I just thought about that. Good idea. Michael Pythium in the building says, "Game changer, truly doing the Lord's work today." Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But no, that's the question on the table that we're dealing with. That we're gonna deal with that one right now. Does it make sense that women will want a monogamous relationship, but then at some point in the midst of that monogamous relationship, for whatever reason, they will attempt to withhold sex in this monogamous relationship?
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
Withholding sex is a sin, Bernard, according to the Bible passage that I read. By denying your husband booty, and he rules that you're to give it to him, then yeah, you are committing a sin. And the path to hell is paved with women that don't fuck their husbands. So
he's crazy.
A little bit, yes, but nevertheless, it's God's words. Do your duty and give up that booty.
I love it.
Okay, well let me ask this. And I said I don't like to get personal, but Annie, you did say something about submitting to your partnership thingy majiggy that you got going on. You said something about submitting to that, but then you basically said, I do whatever I want to do. Does that include
because he lets me?
Okay, so does that do what you want to do include withholding the vag whenever the hell you feel like it for whatever reason?
No, I think that's a sin. I agree with game changer. I think
okay.
Yeah, so for once we're gonna agree, I think, but I also think it's a sin for a man to withhold it from the
don't throw in the towel. Just
hold on, wait. What did she say? Hold on, say that last part again. I missed it.
Now I'm gonna get accused of being.
No, it's in the Bible.
Go ahead. No, I didn't catch what you said. Go ahead, say it again.
It's a sin for a woman to withhold sex, but it's also a sin for a man to withhold sex from his woman too.
That is true.
What?
It is.
But it's not a thing. No, it's that doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
Why even bring that up?
That's why I said I wasn't going to repeat it. But
okay, all right. Fair enough.
Women should give their husbands, partners, whoever is looking after you, and you're in a monogamous relationship. You shouldn't be cutting off sex because men need sex. Because if they don't get sex, they start bumping into things and get confused and can't see straight. All that kind of stuff.
You reading the chat?
No, I'm reading Intentional Millionaires question. Does it make sense? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading that.
What do you mean bumping into things?
Right.
He's saying that we fall apart.
Bump into things when they don't have sex. They start bumping into things. They start getting mad. They start sweating. They start getting irritated. It's a physiological thing. Men can't cope. So if you don't want your husband to be irritated or to bump into chairs or knock the table over by mistake because he just couldn't see the edge, just because he couldn't focus, give him plenty of sex.
Well, so when you say he's bumping into chairs, is he trying to have sex with a chair?
No, he's not trying to have sex with a chair, but he just miscalculates how far his leg is from the chair just because he's not having
You going in.
All his human
depth
activities
perception.
start to
She's trying to say we fall apart.
Right.
Men do, from what I've seen. Yeah.
If it's in-house,
So you must give men sex if you want your husband. Whenever I noticed with my husband that he was a bit angsty and a bit snappy, and I think I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, we've not had sex for 3 days. That's the problem. And then he'll be fixed after that.
That can be true, but I mean that's if you have in-house. It's psychological torture to be in-house and married on top of that. You know what a man has had to do to marry you, and then to have a woman in your home that you providing for and protecting. and to not be getting that plays psychological games. But MGTOW men single men out there doing your thing, nope, that's not true. Those men have weaned themselves. They don't have that in-house psychological terror.
No, they don't.
It's a different ball game if it's right there next to you,
right?
And you're not getting it. But if it ain't right there next to you, yeah, I mean, no, you good. You get up, you go out and pursue. You know, you go hunt. You go hunt.
Yeah, they have ways of dealing with, but men feel more fulfilled, in my view. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've got 6 brothers, and I've watched them. I don't have any sisters, so I've been around guys all my life. I think that men feel more fulfilled when a woman gives them, because I mean, come on, there's a physiological reason.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of semen that needs to come out every 24 hours.
All right, we're gonna pass it to Brenda. The question on the table: does it make sense to say you want a monogamous relationship, which I assume you do, and then cut off sex at free will during that relationship?
No, it doesn't make sense because it was not part of the contract. And as biblically speaking, like, you can't withhold something that you vowed. Okay.
But we ain't. Yeah. Well, hold on. Wait. Time out. We're not supposed. I mean, it's cool to take it from a marriage or biblical angle, but that ain't. You know, it was the previous question was Bible related. We kind of outside the Bible. I mean, we can step back into it periodically, but you don't have to put it in a biblical context. Yeah.
Right. And so, so whenever you cut it off, after he said from the beginning, like, contract, hey, we're going to be in a relationship, but I need sex, and is it possible to have it this way? He will create a contract, and then as a female, you have to abide by it. But the moment you don't abide by it, then you're kind of violating the contract. That's how I kind of view it. And so by withholding, he has the right to kind of go look for it. Then, I mean, you kind of did it to yourself. And so you can't have the monogamy part and expect him to and not give it and expect him to act monogamous. And now he's going to be frustrated.
And enthusiastic.
You got to go hunt.
Enthusiastically give it. Because that's what men are really getting at. You get in these relationships, you're living together, and then the woman starts getting lazy. And it's like, we are already very active. We are the active participants in the act. Correct. It's like, can you get to that point after a few months, it's like, you get on top. No, you get on top. It's like, no, you should be getting on top. You should be actively enthusiastic.
You should put in work. Exactly. Right. And so for especially masculine men, they have the testosterone pumping like there's no tomorrow. They have to release it somehow, some way. So as feminine females, we have to be able to receive. They're really great at giving anything, like whether it's help, all you got to do is just accept it. You just accept it, throw it back, and sometimes you know what, be like, you've been working too hard. I got you. That's all they're asking, really, like, put in work. Like, if y'all are saying, or you can't just sit back. You can't be a spectator. Be a part of the game. And that's what I believe women actually miss. Like, you do have a role to play. Like, you can't have like just a single game unless you're playing solitaire. But if that was the case, it would be single.
We get to be tired. We can be tired, but you should come in there and start doing all and like, let me wake up now.
The men get to be tired. The women don't get to be tired.
But we are producing. We are producing. We're producing and protecting.
And we're incubators. So
Perfect Blackness in the building with the $5 super chat. He says men have a hard time concentrating and walking with filled balls. Thank you for the super chat, dude. Appreciate that. Sir Tice in the building. Sir Tice in the building says, give sex with 3 question marks. He says, she says this as if she's not getting any benefit from it.
Who said it?
I think he's referring to you. I think you said give sex as if you're just handing somebody an inanimate object and walking away or something.
Well, I think as a young lady, you might be ready to do all the acrobatics and everything, but after a few years and after a few children, when you said women shouldn't get tired, after a few children is not quite the same. So it does sometimes feel, oh, here we go. He's going to have a go at me again.
Go ahead. Speak your mind.
Right quick. You have 6 brothers and you. How long did it take for your mom to get tired? You see, it's not a matter of that. You're supposed to keep doing it until it's done. Like, that's
I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying that you're not always going to be able to do the same acrobatic, same stuff that you could do if you've got a 3-month-old baby, or So there are times when he's gonna have to deal with you being not. That's what I'm trying to say. Women can get tired.
Yeah.
Women,
we understand you get older, your check engine lights start coming on 5 minutes in. We get it.
Hold on. Then once the children are grown and you get introduced to something called hormone replacement therapy, right?
We don't want
it all changes the game.
Yeah, we don't want to know how hot dogs are made. Like that's.
No, even males have it too, because sometimes if it don't work, we got to figure out what's going on.
So
that's more of
we talking about when the kids done got older, and I'm 55 with gray pussy hairs. Now she like, now I'm ready to do something.
Exactly.
You can keep that old, keep that old decrepit. I'm sorry. Anyway, we gonna pass it to.
I'm not falling for that. I'm not gonna do an April Mason and admit to having a stripper pole in my bedroom. I'm not falling for that. Sorry.
Big Mac.
So you have
in
one?
the building.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Big Mac, the picture in the building, says, "What acrobatics are there in a BJ?" Shout out to you. Good question.
A lot.
A lot.
Me.
Yeah.
You
get it done right.
Strain your neck doing that thing. Trust me.
Yeah, no doubt. Rebel Zoe in the building, 1804 says for the check engine light. There's acrobat. Well, put it like this: you never get too old to perform. Well, okay, man. I mean, I've never received a 60-year-old blowjob, but I think you can. You can maintain that for a while. I understand you can't do the splits forever, but you could maintain the ability to perform in that regard for a long time. But shout out to Rebel Zoe. But all right, I don't think we heard from Jackie Jack. Let me get that old question down. I don't think we heard from Jackie Jack on the current question on the table. Women wanting monogamous relationships and then withholding sex once they get it.
I can't really add anything else because everybody said everything, and they included positions and all that. Y'all did it for me. I can't. There's nothing else to add. If you're choosing to be monogamous, that equals sex, because the other way around is like, well, I could be free and just have sex with whoever I want to. So if you're choosing that, you're guaranteeing sex comes with this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me pull up another question. That I had here. Oh shit. Okay, this one's gonna. And I'm going to Annette first on this one because this is gonna spark some controversy. Do men in the manosphere, or let's just say black manosphere, expect too much of women?
I'm gonna disappoint you.
Oh,
you can't disappoint me. You can't disappoint me. Go ahead.
I don't really have any major beef with the manosphere.
I beg to differ based off everything that's been said here. When you talking about fistulas and all kind of weird shit, I think you got a little bit of beef.
The manosphere, do they expect too much? Generally, I think the standards are high of what they expect women to look like, right? So they expect all women to be like size 6, super pretty, super tight, a 10 over 10 kind of girl. And it's almost seen that if you're not a 10 over 10, like if you're average, that's seen as a bad thing. But I think what the world forgets is that most of us are average. Mm-hmm. Actually, 98% of the world, we're all average people. So for the untrained mind, you see an average looking person, which is normal.
All right, well, I just got to back up. Where have you heard that they are expecting all women to be 10 out of 10? Go ahead.
Right. Well, that's the standard that's been set, isn't it?
Set by who, how, who, what, when, why, where?
Godfather of the manosphere.
No,
okay, don't
he
say
says
that.
fit, feminine, and friendly.
I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying
no,
it.
but he says
he's
fit,
not the
feminine, and
Godfather.
friendly. He doesn't say like, he doesn't say 10s or 9s or anything like that. He says fit, feminine, and friendly.
But in terms of looks, you said, in what way do I think that some men, what do I not agree with? And I said, not much, but if I had to nitpick, I would say the expectations about looks is one thing.
I'm not going to gaslight Annie. I'm not going to gaslight her. You know, there is, with the ratings, there is a lot of, you know, women who are, Bernard, you just had on your show the other day that attractive chick. And it was like, she a 4, she a 5. I mean, you know, it's like, we can be a little harsh in terms of like, you know, if she's not a baddie, you know, it's like off with her head.
I'll grant you there's an element of cap. There's an element of cap when it comes to guys giving ratings. I used to always, you know, a woman could be on the screen that could be bad as hell, and some dude saying, "Man, she a 5," and I'm like, "Now you got to show your whip. That woman a 5. You got to show the last 2 women you had sex with, because
Exactly.
you know." So
yeah,
and when you walk on the street in real life, not Instagram, there are not that many baddies. No. Even the baddies on Instagram.
The baddies.
Even the Instagram, there's not that many baddies in real life. Even the Instagram models who are baddies on Instagram, when you see them in real life, they don't really look like themselves in the picture, because all that's been kind of, you know.
Yeah, I don't think men are that stupid or delusional. I mean, like we've all messed with women who we've seen, you know, fresh out the shower and looking, you know, 5 or 6-ish, and then when we get dressed up and go out with her, it's like, damn, you know, how the hell you do that? Like we understand how it works. We see it firsthand. Like we live in the real world, so it's what you're saying is going back to just assuming. You're making an argument that it just assumes that the audience is dumb. Assumes that the audience is dumb and don't live in reality. I mean, yes, it'd be some cap. I could put up like, you know, we had Nicki Minaj up, and you know, some, you know, I ain't about to you know, resurface none of that. All the rating things, the ratings get rough and tough. People have a on screen, on TV, on the internet rating, then they have a real life rating. And I think guys live in reality, and they know what's what in general when it comes to that.
Black men go for, like, you know, women who are overweight all the time.
Man.
They go for women who are not,
all the time.
But she's on the manosphere. I'll give her that. In the manosphere, not men in general, but in the manosphere, I do think we do tend to be really. There are attractive women out there, but it's like, she don't look this bad. It's like, oh man, she just average that bad. It's like, come on, bro, like she's an attractive.
But they getting with those women though, Rod. They are getting with those women. Go ahead, Game Changer.
Well, no, I mean that's just part. That's just. I mean, to me, that's all cap when they say, you know, oh yeah, that's, you know, they see a 9 and give her a 4, you know, to make it appear like, oh, I get that all the time, you know, that's, you know, that, yeah. So that's just cap. I would ignore that. But as far as, you know, the manosphere and standards go, my channel personally, I want Black men to raise their standards. Right now, it's in the gutter, you know, and I want Black men to raise their standards. And that process may seem cruel to women. And perhaps it is, but you be a size 6. Like, if you give me what I want, that's the thing. And we don't ask for things that, at least I don't encourage men to ask for things that a woman can't rightly achieve. You know, and a size 6 is something that, you know, that every woman can achieve or better, or better.
What is the size 6? Like, what does that look like? Is that like
Kevin knows the dresses.
Super thin.
Kevin knows the dress. Kevin knows dresses.
Sex is not. I mean, I'm sorry, not sex. A 6 is not necessarily super thin. It is thin. It's
like, who's a celebrity? Who's a celebrity?
Well, I think Beyonce might be legitimately a size 6. Like a 6 is just a normal, average shape body. Well, I mean, it depends on at what point in her career. But a 6 is just like,
okay. So Maya was a size 4 in the 90s, because she said that on that song. You know, she said, you know, I'm size 4. You know,
I like
on that Moving On song.
But I don't. Yeah. I don't expect women to all be that. My bad.
No. But I mean, yeah, I think models are like size 0. And
Well,
0 is super thin.
A
6 is
six
some
is
leeway.
normally what a woman should be if she's just right in the middle or on the scale like of the body mass index. Like a 6 is like the normal size.
Okay.
If she ain't too skinny and on the edge of unhealthy skinny, and she ain't getting in the realm of overweight, that 6 is just genetically what women naturally should be. That
I see.
you know
But you
that
know
that
what?
that's generally what a 6 is.
You know what I would say? I would say that, in terms of like the body, in terms of like how fit women should be, I do think that it's unrealistic for, yes, we should raise our standards, but we also have to be realistic. Red pill, the ugly truth. If you don't have a certain look yourself, right? I don't know how you could like be demanding that enough, or if you don't have a certain look yourself or a certain level of success on the other. If you don't have a certain level of success or you don't have a certain level of looks yourself, how can you, if you aren't super successful, aren't a hot chat, whatever the women like to go after, then can you and you yourself are not fit? Can you say I want a fit woman? Yeah, you could, but is it realistic? So I do think that it's like what happens in life, these things work themselves out. What they call it, assortative mating, sort of mating. You can be, if you're not a 6, then you have to understand that it's gonna reflect, it's gonna impact the level of man, the type of man you can get as well.
Yes.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's some tactics in witchcraft that women use to avoid that. But no, generally speaking, that's the case. Bernard, if you could share a screen, I could show people what size 6 look like.
Damn it! I was just looking up the same thing, but here's the problem already. When I was looking up this, a lot of women, they be on some cap where they will they'll put a short size 6 and put like a really tall size 16 and see, look, there's not that much difference from a 6 and a 16. But when they go apples to apples, a 5'4" size 6 and a 5'4" size 16. The 16 is much bigger. But anyway, you could highlight. Well, hold on real quick. Shout out to Sun is Hot Rod, says 60-year-old BJ, you accidentally pulled her teeth out of her mouth. Thank you very much for that. But all right, go ahead, GC. What point?
You take the teeth out before she even starts.
Yeah, that's what
you would know.
Yeah,
you do that. Is that? Hold on, wait. Let me catch you while you're smiling. Okay, I didn't know if that's your thing.
No, mine's still in, Bernard. But I usually take it out before I start.
Oh, so you do have you got false teeth?
Oh, shut up! Of course not.
No, those are real.
Okay, all right.
You don't understand British humor.
But no, I mean, So size 6 seems to be a reasonable goal, and I do agree that that men, certain men should not be asking for that. But I do think that there are more Black men who should be asking for it and don't, who should require it and don't. Now, I mean, the problem isn't on the opposite end where we have Black men who are underaccomplished and below in the looks department. Demand with high demands. It's the opposite. So I want to change that dynamic. More Black men deserve 6s. It's a woman's job, really one of her only jobs, to be more pretty than the man is handsome. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Just like babies are supposed to be cute so the parents don't eat them. Like it's your job. It's your job as a woman to be prettier than your man is handsome. Like I don't understand when it's the reverse.
Yeah, and what I have to add for that.
Go ahead.
Yes, exactly that. What I have to add into Game Changer, and actually I'm supporting his movement of Black men actually raising their standards for Black women. Why? Health, overall health, because men are visual creatures. And so whenever they're choosing their mate, they're trying to figure out, are they, is this woman going to give me the most genetic, qualified kids?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Like, are they going to be able to do, to look a certain way? And my significant other and I were talking about how, like, let's say LeVar Ball, and he chose like a woman who was also playing in the basketball, and then now they got genetically gifted kids in the basketball, so they're kind of choosing. And for men, they should be choosing based on what they're trying to establish for their family or whatnot. And so as women, if we want to be competitive, we actually have to look apart. And like, for example, with myself, I used to weigh 174 pounds. I was a Oompa Loompa. Circle was my shape, but I knew I couldn't get far. And thanks to my dad, he's the one who was like, all right, so since you're finished with college, it's time to lose weight. And going to Kenya was a different thing. Everybody said the same exact thing, but it was mainly to help me be able to be desirable, but also health conscious, because I know whenever I have kids, I'm going to blow up due to hormones. So why not start at a small size, and then be able to let my body do its thing. But knowing myself, I can't stay at that state. I'm going to try to, I'm going to amplify my genetics as much as I can. And to me, with women, I don't think they have reached their peak genetic, their performance peak, or how they look, if they haven't actually tried to figure out what else they can attain if they're not very driven to be in the gym or be physically attractive. But that's just my thing, though.
What's your dress size?
I fluctuate between a 2 and a 4, so I'm very tiny. I went from 16 to tiny.
You're small.
I'm telling you, I got muscle. But
see, y'all hear that? Y'all hear the slim shaming? Wait, y'all hear?
Hold on, yeah, good catch, GC.
She lost 174 pounds. They didn't shame her for ever being 174 pounds. They start slim shaming. You see, that goes on.
I didn't hear no congratulations.
Exactly.
I heard
you skinny
bitch.
In my closet.
Like, Cal, you need to get some food, and you need to get some.
Yeah, and I mean that's unqualified. Because
exactly.
Like, oh, can you rap? I can't even wear my rings anymore because they slipped off. My college rings.
No.
That's how they.
Brenda, you do you. You are
put that wrist down. You fail in that Ray Charles test. You ain't.
I got a small wrist too.
Yeah, it's just a wrist test.
No,
Ray Charles would not fuck with that wrist. He do that.
Brenda, I got the Bible right here. You are literally doing the Lord's work. Okay, no, by being slim, you are doing right. No, can you do ninja? Not ninja. Can you do gymnastics?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very naturally flexible.
Exactly.
So I've always been flexible.
That's what size 4 women do. They do gymnastics, and and you can hover a little bit, can't you? Like when your man throw you up in the air, you hover a little bit.
No,
it's true. And actually, one of my biggest things, whenever I was heavy, I was a dancer. I'm still a dance teacher, but in Latin atmosphere, I didn't want any guy to pick me up. My dance partner was so strong, but I was like, no. They did, but I was not like, no. But because I'll hurt his back. How about that? And so the moment I was like, all right, I need to take accountability and actually do something about it during the time. My dad was also saying the same thing. But as soon as I became smaller, it was easier to do tricks. Like now I can get thrown in the air and not be very fearful of, oh, can he actually pick me up? And at the end of the day, it's definitely still technique. And so
exactly. Don't let women try to slim shame you. There is nothing. All women should hover a little bit. All women should do gymnastics like Chung Lee.
I'm gonna pass it to.
They can't. It's just it will take a lot of work. So
I'm gonna pass it to Jackie Jack. So when she mentioned she was a size 2 or a 4, Jackie Jack, why did you make that this skinny bitch type of face? Why did you do that?
I did not. I said, yes, you did. You're small.
Yeah.
You called her a skinny.
My abs coming in and out, so.
I wasn't coming for her. I used to be a size 4. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No, it's right. Do you see something right with it? Do you see everything right with it?
It's normal. Well, no, it's not really normal. Not with
it is normal.
Black women. Not with black women. That's not normal.
No, black women are abnormal people. However, it's normal for a woman to be a size 4 and around there. You know, it's normal for y'all to be able to like they say in the chat room, helicopter kick like Chung Lee. Like that's normal. It's not normal for women to be like E Honda. It's not.
Right.
Who's E Honda?
E Honda is a sumo wrestler.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't coming for her size. When she said she lost weight, people usually, when they're bigger, they don't usually go down that small. So I was like, wow, you went down.
Oh, it took years, 3 years.
Yeah.
So I had to keep on going, and so
yeah.
And you don't have like the loose.
Can I see how your
I
figure?
don't.
Can I see?
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, you might be a 2.
So,
oh wow!
Yeah, I might be skinny. So
look at that! Look at that!
Oh, shit. Wait, hold on, wait, time out. Wait, I'm fucking up. I'm fucking up. Okay, what did you do? Start over.
You see? Y'all
but
see that?
I haven't been working out because of my due to my injury. But one thing is I'm staying small just due to dieting and stuff like that. But I had to learn nutrition all the way through, and even help my parents how to do it. And I helped the nurses, and so they didn't need to work out. All I did is just change their diets, and so they ended up looking like a fountain of youth. They reversed back their aging, and so literally their faces changed to like whenever they're in their 30s or 40s. Like it's interesting, but you can actually reverse a lot, even a lot of illnesses back. But it's mainly for overall health, and so being able to advocate for that, especially for Black men, they should be really setting their standards a little bit higher. And it's more of drive for women. If they can achieve this, imagine what else can they achieve. And we age like milk, men age like wine. So because we age like milk, we have to be able to control them, like how milk kind of ages. You have to kind of be able to control your beauty, because at the end of the day, you know, we might have I don't have any loose skin. That was my biggest thing. But with collagen, and it's a whole scientific thing. But with our skin, nails, hair, and everything like that, one thing I was not really great at is actually my beauty health. And so now that's something I'm kind of learning. I broke out actually with adult acne, and so I had to figure out how to even get it a little bit smoother. So it took a lot of work, and that's what I think women kind of missing. It doesn't matter if you're physically beautiful, but internally, what men are actually asking for is overall health. And whenever it comes to these feminist movements, like the me, yes, but at the same time, what are you doing it for? It should be longevity, not right now. Like right now is great and all, but what else are you doing? And so to benefit your family, and to be able to be around if you want kids, your grandkids, etc. And so, but that was my thing, especially being in the Western society, Western culture.
Shout out to you, man.
So it took a long time.
That's an amazing round of
applause.
All right.
Jackie not clapping.
King Trini says that the out of shape woman shows the face. Who's the out of shape woman?
I think he's just talking about the plurality.
Me? I'm not out of shape.
Didn't nobody say you was out of shape?
No.
What's your dress size?
But
nobody said,
I'm not a
what's your dress size?
My dress size is a 10. Okay? And I've never been single in my whole life.
A 10? Are you sure?
I am. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I saw you stand up and walk around, and I'm a fashion designer. I don't
you think I'm not a 10?
No.
I am a 10.
Maybe are you Peyton?
No.
Hold on.
She about to go find one of them skinny mirrors.
My dog said she's bringing the receipts.
What did you say?
Let me see the tag. Let me see the tag.
Receipts.
No, this is not God. Let me see. I'm not going to show you. Take off my clothes.
We don't need to see it.
Well, you have another dress in the house with a tag on it.
Listen. It doesn't matter. I am who I am. I am what I wear. But what I'm saying is I've never been single. So why am I saying this? It's good that you're skinny. And it's good that we should all be skinny. I will get some tips from you. right? It's good to be slimmer. That's not a problem. But what I'm saying is not everybody has to be a size 2 or a 4. There are people who are like 10, 12 who can still get the men. What you need to be, which you've already said, is very healthy. You understand? What you need to be is to be able to jog, to be able to be flexible. I teach dance as well, you know. So
you said you teach dance?
Do you float?
What kind of dance?
I'm not telling you what kind of dance because you're going to make a big deal out of it.
Do you float a little bit?
I mean,
No, you say you do everything that the regular would. Do you float a little bit? When the person throws,
I scuba dive, I swim, I snorkel.
No.
Do everything.
Do you float?
Wait, hold on, wait, time out. I'm just curious. If you say that you you're saying you swim, you scuba dive, you do all of this.
Right.
If you can name all those other things you can do, why is it a big deal to name what type of dance you teach?
Because it's freaky.
I teach burlesque dancing.
Burlesque?
I knew it.
What is that?
Yes, I do too.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I teach.
One at a time. I couldn't hear Rod. What did you say, Rod?
It's like classy stripping, but they're not taking off all the clothes. Just like leaving it on.
Oh, okay.
And just a little.
But my question is, do you float a little bit? Because you're saying that you
float a little bit mean.
It means when a man throws you up in the air, do you hang a little bit of time? Does it before you plop down?
No.
Of course you don't, but she does. See, that's the difference between 4 and 10. That's the difference between 4 and 10. See, you say that, I still get a man. What I'm saying is you should maximize your value to said man. And the way you maximize your value is to get that ghostly outline of a six-pack that Brenda had. That is how you maximize. You maximize by floating. You maximize by gymnasticking. Yes, you do.
Listen.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. Listen.
You are more valuable to your man if you float.
No.
Game
changer. You talk a lot as if you know everything and as if you know
what I know that I like women that float.
Go to my community page, Bernard, and look at a picture of when I got married. I was a big girl when I got married. Why? Because he liked big women. Was he Pookie and Rere? No, he's a politician's son. He's a very rich man, but he likes big women. And the minute I did the work,
is that hold on, wait, hold on. Is that the norm that rich men like big women?
I'm just telling you my.
All right, so yeah, there are people with individual stories, and
that was the end of the wedding, the marriage.
Okay, I mean, listen, there are obviously rare stories where there are guys who they genuinely prefer overweight women, but overall, most men, if they're with a woman who's just fat, and I'm not even talking about the thick in the right places kind of thing, because I like that and all that, but I'm talking about ones that just are unshapely big. Typically, if men are with women like that, it's because they're tolerating it, because that's what they can get. That's normally how it is. So when a woman is talking about how she, did the damn thing and lost a lot of weight and sitting there with a six-pack, there
ghostly
again
outline is better than a six-pack. The ghostly outline for a woman is better than the actual six-pack.
Yeah, true.
We're all the same size. Everybody.
You are not the same size. She is 4.
No, I said we're all on the same side. Game changer.
No, I want more 4s and less 10s. What are you talking about?
I said we're all on the same side.
I'm being petty. Hold on, real quick. I'm being petty here. Jackie Jack, as a fashion designer, with the
oh god,
what just based off your assessment, and I don't even do the dress size thing. I do generally understand what a 6 is, because I heard somebody explain it, that's what the average woman would generally. That's really like the average size that a woman should be if she's in shape, not too skinny, not too big. That's just genetically what women naturally are. That fall within body mass index. They're normally a size 6 if they're right in the middle on that body mass index, what the body mass index considers to be healthy. But Jackie Jack, as a fashion designer, based off your visual observation, if you had to say, what size do you think that Annie wears?
Annie is a 14. I'm gonna say that. That's my last
14
answer. That's my
what?
final. That's my final answer.
A 14 US?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I got different sizes out in the UK.
Yeah.
Out in the UK.
Oh,
She's a 14.
I'm not a 14 US. Let me show you my dresses.
Oh shit.
Yeah, let me show you my dresses.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's see.
I almost don't even. Okay.
I know. I want to see.
We here.
Right. We just want the facts. You know, the dresses are factual.
It's a fun show.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
it is fun.
But
Yeah,
even
that's-
at 10, that does mean that you are 2.5 more than Brenda.
Sweetheart, I'm not saying that I'm
2.5.
not overweight.
No, I'm just saying. Well, 4 and that's 2.5. Don't slim shame Brenda because I want to encourage. I want to encourage floaters. Jackie, what's your size?
I'm a size 10. That's how I know she's not a size.
Oh,
You a size 10?
Yeah.
You're a size
We have
10.
to see this too.
I'll stand up.
Yeah,
But 10 is not
Oh
big.
shit! Hold on. No, I
10 is
always
not
knew that.
big.
I'm a size 10.
And then turn around.
That's
Yeah,
a
and
10?
you're
When
thick
I
too.
look at you, when I
I'm a
look
size
at
10.
you, when I look at you,
Oh,
I
no,
would
size
say
10.
size 10.
Huh?
I would
Yeah.
actually call you smaller.
No,
Yeah.
I knew.
Maybe
See,
our country sizes are throwing us off.
Size
Uh-oh.
10 gang
there we
gang.
go.
I'm a size. I don't know if y'all can see.
Size
Do you
10
float?
gang
No,
gang.
Do you float?
Do I float? I don't think so. Because I'm a
I like
size
size
10.
10.
I don't think I float.
You don't look like a 10 to me.
Well,
Yeah, I
No,
know
that-
am.
No, I
When
did.
I'm
I did.
You
No,
look
are you
like
in
a
the
dog.
Y'all
When
was
I'm
talking
crafting
like
a
size 10.
pattern, I'm a size 10 when I'm making a pattern. I'm a size 10.
When y'all were talking like size 10 was big. That's not big. That's normal. Am I
In
tripping?
America,
no.
yeah. So no, you're not tripping.
God,
It's
we
just
could
how we're classifying it because we have to account bust and also we what is it called? Hips. And so whenever it comes to ratio, what I would be actually advocating for is making sure that your waist to hip ratio is in a suitable manner,
Right,
and
right.
also
That's
for
why
your
I'm
height
okay.
too as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it depends on the height too. And so as a 5'3", I'm 5'3", and so my joints were killing me at 174, and I knew it was because of a rapid weight gain, right? And so whenever I slim down, I know when I surpass a certain weight, even whether it's mass or whether it's muscle or fat. But and also I didn't want to take up too much room, and so what I would be advocating for is muscle gain, especially with women and working in with geriatrics. The other thing I would even suggest is weightlifting because it prevents osteoporosis. It does prevent certain certain things that whenever women get older, they don't have to deal with in a really high severity, right? And that will be a topic itself whenever it comes to food, what we're eating over here, why we should stay away from certain chicken, fried chicken, etc., and why is it marketed in a certain manner. But that's a whole different psychological effect. And more so, I was reading books about how we should be taking care of our genetics, because as a Kenyan, I can't. We continued eating our degenerate our foods over here. My mom calls it indigenous food.
Indigenous,
but it wasn't
indigenous,
indigenous foods, but it was affecting us. It was affecting me and my training, and so I had to tailor it. It's like, all right, I need more protein, I need more greens, I needed to structure my food in a certain way where I wasn't being drained by having too much carbohydrates because my body wasn't responding to that, or having too much fat because it's all individualized based on, in my opinion now, ethnicity. And so being African American, being Black, you have to eat a certain way versus the other counterparts. Like, you can't really most of the time get the same results if you're eating like other ethnicity or nationalities. And so it depends. It's all like you have to try and error. But women saying I am good, it's like, no, you haven't tried what works and what doesn't work. But yeah.
Like when I work out, I have to have fat. Like if I don't put some bacon in, like I actually won't feel good. I won't look as good. Yeah.
Well, let me
real quick. Shout out to the people that's super chatting, supporting the stream. Dane C in the building says Jackie looking good. Goddamn.
Hey, Dane C.
With some emojis. Son is hot round the building. He says if a man has to go to the gym and lift anywhere between 200 to 500 pounds to lift a woman up, that means she's too damn heavy.
Yes.
Kiss My Asperger's in the building says actually she is out of shape. I don't know who he's referring to. I have no idea who he's referring to.
Oh, okay.
Perfect Blackness in the building.
Asperger's is the guy?
I have no idea what's going on there. I have no idea what's going on there.
Well, she calls me a misandrist all the time, or misogynist all the time.
I thought it was a woman, but then when I finally looked at the picture, I was like, hold up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Strange. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that one. I mean, they haven't said nothing to get timed out or blocked yet, but I didn't. I just started looking at the picture. I don't know what's going on. It's some words that said that I think it's a woman, but it looked like a man in the picture. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused.
It might be a trans.
That's why I said they. I don't know what's going on there. Perfect Blackness in the building says men have a hard time. Okay, I already read that one. All right, that's fun. I don't know how we got off into this tangent. I mean, the question was, do men in the black manosphere expect too much from women? And we got in the whole thing, and all the women started standing up, spinning, and twirling. And
wait, one more thing. I know they were looking for the dress.
A little float, a little float, and a little flip.
What is he doing?
That's not too much.
What the hell
I know
going
they
on
were
here?
looking for. Yeah, no, it's. I know they were looking for a dress, but if we're talking about dresses, like this is what I used to be versus what I am.
What dress is that? What size is that? Brenda?
It's curtain size.
What size is it?
It doesn't have a tag, and actually, that's what upsets me.
Oh.
So.
All right.
And these are not stretchy.
I do want to move on from the dresses thing. I mean, I didn't mind y'all standing up, but I ain't trying to do a goddamn fashion show.
Before you know, we're gonna start
Well, I want to say something about what the chat was saying, because they were saying, when they seen Jackie, they were saying that 8 and 10 is ideal. Okay, well, but let's put it like this. We're talking about longevity now. As a midwife, and how many babies will it take before Brenda becomes Jackie size?
She may not ever become Jackie's size.
Exactly. So you see, you get Brenda, and the worst case scenario is Jackie, and that's not too damn bad. So don't you see the benefits of the ghostly outline? Don't you see the benefits of floating? The worst case scenario is Jackie, and nobody's complaining about Jackie.
Go at me.
Huh?
I didn't say that being skinny is a bad thing.
You said it with disdain. You said it with disdain. Like,
did?
Oh, you're skinny. Yes, you did. Don't
I
play
did?
like I did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You said it like it's a bad thing, and it's not. It's beautiful. It's ghostly outline. Wow. It floats and it flips. Everything that a man wants. That is, and you could pull babies out of it all the time, and it still stay the same or turn into Jackie. Yes, it is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, whatever. I know you're trying to be entertaining.
You know that slimmer is better. You know that slimmer is better.
I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that nonsense. Brenda.
What do you mean that's nonsense?
It is.
They live longer, they float higher, and they flip quicker. They do everything better.
What was the first thing I did? I went, wow. Congratulations.
No.
We got up and went, wow, you look really good. And then
because people would never think.
You heard four, and you was like, you skinny. Skinny is a pejorative for in shape, woman. Yes, it is. No, she can be upside down for a long period of time. Everything about a slim fit woman is correct.
All right.
And that's the main thing.
I'm in a different place. No.
And it's okay.
Yeah. Right.
But
and
it depends on the culture you
she was
in.
10, I said she looks smaller than a 10 to me. So where's the
I didn't think I was no
tag in your dress.
We don't like we ain't.
I didn't see the tag.
that.
I didn't see the tag. You said you was gonna get the dress tag. I didn't see it.
Dude, all right. We getting all right. I don't.
That's 12.
Yeah, but that's a 12 UK.
But it depends how stretchy the fabric.
That still mean you lied.
It's smaller than the US.
You still
trying
lied.
to save you, Annie. Annie, we trying to save you. We like, no, move on.
Jackie was right. Hashtag Jackie was right.
Things literally. Okay, sorry, maybe I didn't get it.
I knew it. Jackie was right. I knew it.
Oh, whatever.
And that's why it's really
But
hard when KS is like, what's your size, medium?
Right? I'm taking him seriously.
Give me numbers.
All right. Again, all right. Going back to the question before we got off on this tangent, do men in the manosphere be expecting too much from women? My obvious answer to that question is no. I think it do be a lot of cap in the chat room. As far as the size thing, and look, at least I thought I wouldn't know expert at dress sizes, but I did call everybody's dress size before they said it, so I guess I know more about that shit now than what I thought. But because I was about to,
you called Jackie's?
Yeah, I knew that was. Yeah, I knew that was about a 10. Like, look, it's complicated. It's like it's a. What are you in the waist? What are you in the hips? What are you? It's a whole nother thing. And that I don't think you get to nod with that. I think women with small waists and wide hips get to nod and be like, yep, yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. I'm not falling for that one. I'm gonna be the sacrificial lamb, okay? I'm the sacrificial lamb. I'm gonna be the butt of your jokes for this show. I'm always the butt of your jokes, no problem. I pray
you definitely a good sport. Definitely a good sport.
Very entertaining.
But I'm okay.
But all right, we can move on. We can move on. Now the last question, I think this is the last question. Unless one of y'all had one, if one of y'all got a better one, because I was about to throw out one, and I don't really care for this question. It was just I was having a hard time coming up with one. It was, can a traditional woman pursue higher education, master's degree, PhD, and the whole works like that? But I mean, can she consider herself traditional, but still pursuing all of that? Can she still be considered traditional? That was a question. If one of y'all
that's a good
if y'all like that one, we can lean with it and rock with that one. Unless one of y'all got a better one, because I was
because I have a follow-up on that one.
Okay.
Because James Changer said I didn't need to go to college at all.
No, you don't. You don't
feed my children.
You don't. You see, as long as they prioritize family over that, then it's not a problem. You see, here's the thing: people that make it to the NBA, the N whatever, baseball and whatever, all that people, athletes, they go to college, but that's not their primary thing. Their primary thing, the thing that gets them up in the morning, the ones that actually make it, the things that gets them up at 4 a.m. and jog, isn't to study for physics. No, it is to get faster and quicker for that because their primary goal is the NBA, NFL, and baseball. That's their primary thing. As long as your primary goal is to secure a proper penis and make a family with it, as long as that's your primary goal, then it doesn't really matter what your secondary goal is. But don't miss out on your on your primary goal because you're doing your secondary thing. Who cares if you're a doctor or something like that? Nobody. So your primary goal is to secure a proper penis and submit to it.
Here we go. He's reducing men down to their penises again.
That's not a reduction if it's big enough. So, all right.
All right. All right. Go ahead. I'm gonna swing it to Brenda on that one. Go ahead.
Oh no, exactly that. So it depends. Yes, they can be a PhD, but a traditional woman, depending on which culture they're coming from, because it depends on how it's kind of enforced, right? And so last time that I was on the show, the very first time that I came into your show with a call-in, I said that I was my family's from Kenya, so we came over here, and so we prioritize education. Education is like our thing. Why? Because due to now, I know the feminist movement, we don't have the luxury of having higher education for etc. But it just runs in our family. Like we try to pursue the highest education. However, we're family oriented. So one thing I did know is I want to have a family, but doing it in America, it was very complicated in the fact of I do fall in the same category as modern women. Get that bag, get that money. Why? Because Game Changers show right after the after show, actually, and Chantel, everybody was actually asking me all these great questions, and they were actually advising me in the best way that I can describe in this particular thing is how what is your end goal at the end of the day, and if you're a modern woman, you can have traditional thinking, great, but when are you going to do all that? Time is actually the essence, because with time it keeps on going with or without you, but I can't pursue everything all at once. I mean, my dad keeps on telling me that I can't do everything at once, but I think I'm coming from an abundance mindset that I can still be everything. But at first I was in a scarcity, let me lock my job down first. But at the same time, between society and what I'm practicing in my family, it's two different things. So I kind of get caught in the crossfire. But ultimately, I've learned that right now, I need to focus on me to build that, whatever that education that I need, and also that second income, because right now the gas prices are way too high in Texas. So I do need to pursue some sort of education. But PhD, it's not necessary. But could I bring bread and along with my significant other to make a stable family? Because if anything was to happen to him, in other words, just getting sick and he can't work, I would need to be able to lift the household and keep it running regardless. But if I wanted to take off, is he going to be able to do that? Absolutely. And that's what I'm looking for. And so with that PhD mentality, I guess you can say, I have to prioritize family at a certain time, and I have to prioritize my career at a certain time. So right now, because I don't have a family and I'm not married yet, career is going to come first. Mm-hmm. But the moment I marry, I'm dropping my career for a minute because I need to focus. Family is a career. Family is a job. And so in order to have my family running properly, and also because I do believe a man is a protector and a provider, I need to make sure my guy is good to go. My man is good to go at all times because he's the one who's bringing most of the bread in. So yes, but having a conversation with women who may not have the same background, and I was privileged to have my dad in my life, two households, my mom and my dad. So I'm coming from a Kenyan culture. You can do it both, but now it's kind of hard. You have to really think long and hard about that.
All right. Luke Casely, where is that at? There you go. Luke Casely in the building with the super sticker. Appreciate that. Ice in the building says sizes 12 and up is like weightlifting for men. Deacon Dave says next category for the ladies, twerk. We was close. If I had music on deck, we might have got a little something going on. But car designer Chris in the building says, so you were 16 US. We keeping it moving. Jay the Conqueror said Jackie Jack is slim, thick. All right. Dame C in the building said, oh, I already read that one. Told you she got a fan club going on. But
can I
all right.
make a rule, please? Because this
can you what?
I want to make a quick rule, if I may, or make a suggested rule. I know it's your show.
Oh, go ahead.
Please do not complain about gas prices unless you live in California or Hawaii. Like what y'all call high, we call low. We call extremely low. We'll be happy to have Texas gas prices any day of the week. Unless you live about California or Hawaii, no complaints. We don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I have no idea what y'all prices are. So yeah, that's new.
It's a higher cost of living, so y'all make more too. So it factors out. That factors in.
We're not ready
all right.
in Texas.
Well, all right. Well, anyway, moving back on to the question. I threw it to Rod of God. You got it.
Bruh, I mean, the question was very specific. Love me some Brenda. Salute to you, your weight loss journey, your health journey, your discipline to do that, man. Like, for real. Like, whoa.
Right.
But the question was, can a traditional woman pursue higher education, master's or PhD? So I'm with you if it's a bachelor's degree. But once it gets to that master's and PhD, I mean, what are master's and PhD degrees, for? It's for the kind of, the wannabe intelligentsia. It's like, it's not, it's one thing if it was like a medical doctor, but usually it's these kind of, you're going to end up being a professor somewhere, tenured. That's like your best case. It's, no, I don't think a traditional woman would ever go after a master's or PhD. Number one, because of the debt that it will saddle the family with. And then number two, because like in terms of like I'll take it up and then I'll put it back down when I get married and then I'll pick it back up. Well, that's not the way that's not the way careers work. If you get out of the game with your career long enough, you starting from scratch, and then you're also having to depend on being competitive to get that job, having been out of the field, for a long period of time. So I do think there's a little bit of trying to have your cake and eat it too. I do think to be a traditional woman, most I would say it would be bachelor's, because those other degrees out there, I mean, it's just it's smoke, it's fugazi. That's it.
All right. Annie, well, let's go to Jackie Jack first.
Okay. What I'm gonna say, my first answer is gonna be yes, but then I have like a kind of a caveat to that. I think it's gonna be so much harder to be traditional and go after a master's and a PhD. Like, you're making it 10 times harder to be traditional by doing that. First of all, you're gonna basically want a guy that makes way more money than you're gonna make if you have a career. If you get a PhD and you're making a considerable amount of money, so your standards gonna be out of control. And I mean, I had to learn that lesson the hard way. I got 2 degrees, and I was just looking for someone that was like at my level, and it was difficult because it's like you kind of have to look a certain way to get a guy that has a certain amount of money or a certain amount of status or whatever like that. So I had to like realize that, okay, getting these degrees is cool, but then it's gonna make me harder to like match up with somebody that's like on my level that would, want to settle down with me. Because most of the guys that have all the options, they're gonna try to pick the best they can pick out. They don't care if I have like 2 degrees. So it was like I went in that route and I had to learn the hard way. Like, okay, yeah, you got all of this stuff, but that doesn't make you more appealing to somebody you're trying to mate with. So I think it's just going to make it so much harder. Your standards are just going to be crazy if you get that stuff. You're going to always see your guy beneath you if you have to settle down with just a normal guy, average guy.
Yeah, you see, and actually you said an important thing. You were being 2 degrees hotter doesn't actually make you being able to, I guess, for
2
the guy
degrees
actually,
what?
Hotter. Having 2 degrees, like advanced degrees or whatnot.
Is it-
Because she
is it
said
autonomous?
exactly.
That is
Yeah, it is.
Oh, we
That-
gotta
that
put
is the
pause
thing.
on that one. Time.
Because
I'm talking to the
she was
fellas.
looking somebody
No,
at
time
a
out.
level, at her level.
I'm
Yeah.
talking to the fellas. Is there a such thing as a woman being 2 degrees hotter?
No.
No, but I get the pun. It was funny.
It was a good point.
No, I think she was serious. I think she was serious. I don't think that was just
Right.
a joke.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah,
dead damn serious.
But no,
Yeah, no, that's a
don't really-
conflict. Yeah, that's a conflict. And we as women, we think that, okay, I should get the guy with the same like income because of power. If you think about it, it's all about power of intelligence. Like, he has to be smarter than me. He has to make the same thing as me. And so it's just, what are you doing the degree for?
Right.
At the end of the day, it's all about debt. And so And it depends which degree you're pursuing. So if you want an advanced degree, being a doctor, that's a totally different thing. And being a nurse practitioner, totally different thing. But does it help the family traditional aspect, you know? But some degrees do not. They're just great for debt. They're just great income. It just drives the economy, because that's what institutions are in America. I'm not going to lie to you. And so guess what? We were pandered by feminists, like, go get your education. Now I'm sitting in debt. Now I got to figure out. I mean, my dad has been like, well, told you we should have pursued nursing right away. But exactly that, like, yeah, it's the society. Feminism.
So do you wish you didn't get an education? Is that what you're saying? Because you got debt?
Oh, no. No, I'm not saying that. It depends on the degree that you're going for, the MS and the PhD or DR. And so, but in America, it's all about system thing. You know, you have to do the 4 years. So I did my 4 years within 3 years. I was trying to bypass certain things so that I can save my dad my money, like whenever he was supporting me. And so now the next degree, I had to be more calculated of what I was pursuing. I was pursuing an MS, and then I was like, oh, the pandemic kind of cut a lot of scientists out of you know, research of their own, so that they can focus on the COVID. I was like, oh, I don't want that. And so, but I kept seeing my parents going to work. They always had work because they're nurses. So I was like, let me just go ahead and just do this nursing degree, you know, like accelerated BSN, and then more BSN accelerated programs started popping because they needed nurses in a short amount of time. So it depends on what women are going for. Is it going to pay bills? Because God forbid another pandemic happens or an apocalypse happen, who's going to be at a job? And so which family will stand and which family will not be able to, you know, it's all about what you want for your own family. So
you're studying
that was kind
nursing
of my
now?
logical aspect.
All right. Well, car designer Chris in the building. He said, we want an educated woman, not for her earning power, but because we want a smart woman raising the kids. Absolutely. Yeah. You can be, yeah. Yeah,
So
no, I mean, you can be if you're intelligent, going to school and getting a degree in something, that doesn't make you smarter. I mean, you already had it before you went there. So I mean, yeah, the intelligent woman having a degree is a sign, not doesn't necessarily mean, but it is a sign that she's intelligent and will make better decisions in all of that. It's just a sign of it. But no, the degree does not make her smarter. She go get a degree in whatever the hell. That's not going to make her. That's not going to give her more mothering skills. That's not going to help her do that. Shout out to Big Mag the Fisher says 2 degree hashtag 2 degrees hotter. Yeah, that was funny. To put the question to read the question off again. Can a traditional woman pursue higher education, master's, PhD, and still be considered a traditional woman? I don't even know if I threw it to Game Changer yet. Hold on, wait. Jackie, did you go on this one yet?
Yeah, I was saying.
Oh yeah, I went to you first.
It's gonna make it harder.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. I remember. So I'll go with Net, then Game Changer. Well, I got a feeling Game Changer. Well, never mind. Just go ahead, Annie.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't agree with anything I say. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, instead of chasing nursing, why didn't you just look for a husband?
Oh, well, that's the thing. Because I was functioning in a scarcity mindset because of the family dynamics of being African, but trying implementing Kenyan traditions.
Well, hold on, Annie. What's your? I mean, she kind of. Hold on, wait, Annie, real quick. I mean, she kind of gave her answer to that question, you know, already with what she said. I want your thoughts on the question.
Securing the bag.
Oh no, because I didn't hear you say about why you didn't look for a husband.
No, Annie.
I am the man. Annie. That's how I was functioning. I was the man of my own relationship.
Annie, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Annie, what she basically saying, she was on some feminist shit. That's what she basically said. She basically said, hold on. No, she basically said she was on the feminist shit that you was caping for in the beginning of the show. That's really her answer. But I want your thoughts, not you to question her. I want your thoughts on the question. So go ahead.
Okay. So basically, I mean, I am a feminist, but then even as a child, we were all, we all knew, we were all raised like, you're gonna get to this age and you're gonna get married. Like there was never any. So marriage was part of the upbringing and it's the same in Kenya, right? Like in Nigeria, you're trained for your husband. It's like from when you're 3, just as much as you've got the white slate to learn the ABC, they give you a broom to sweep the floor, and it's just because. Oh, so when you get to your husband's house, you know how to sweep. So when you get to your husband's house, you know how to do this. So when you get to your husband, you know what I mean?
We practiced, yes,
and I continue that. We get the 12 training,
and it sound like you still. I think you still scarred by that. Were you back then thinking, well, I don't want to learn all this just so I can know how to do it for my husband. I want to do something for me. Was you thinking that back then?
I was looking forward to getting married and having children.
When did okay? Somewhere, at least in your mind, you did start rebelling against that, even though you did go and get married. But you did. Had to be some rebellion against it. I'm just basing this based off your talking points earlier in the show.
No, but this is the thing. I think you're misunderstanding my talking points. We were talking about feminism and whether that means that if you're feminist, that you also hate men. And I was answering generally. I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about just because you're a feminist doesn't mean you're a misandrist as well. You're personalizing my answer to me. It's possible to have a general answer and a personal answer. My personal life is that family is important. I am extremely educated, but all my education I've gotten from in my husband's house. So basically, the first thing we all wanted to do after we finished school was get married and have babies and, all that kind of stuff, because that's what my mom did. My mom started having babies at 18. My grandmother started having babies at 16. That's what everybody, I don't know any other way. If you're not married in Nigeria, and if you're Nigerian in the UK, if you're not married by the time you're 35, when you go to parties, people just look at you funny, like, what's wrong with you? And I don't know about Kenya, but that's just the way it is. So it's not politically correct to not be married, right? So we all went for marriage. We're all traditional women. But then at the same time, my parents also told me to go to school and got an education. And in England, we don't get into so much debt. And so because of that, we can kind of go to uni 3 or 4 times. It's not as expensive as the US. If I was in the US, I wouldn't be going into debt for school. I'll probably just stay at home and not bother. So there are other regional reasons why people go to school more in certain areas. But can a traditional woman be an educated woman? Yes, because I'm an example. Another example I can give you is somebody like Margaret Thatcher. She was the Prime Minister of England. She was like the boss of England, the Prime Minister, a woman. But she was known every evening to cut her cabinet meetings short for work to go and cook for her husband because she will not let anybody cook for her husband. That's the famous story of Margaret Thatcher. She would not spend a night away from the country unless her husband was with her. Who else do I know that is a traditional woman, but is also like you can call a boss? The Queen of England. She's the queen, but she's extremely traditional. Everybody knows that her husband called the shots, really behind the scenes, even though she's theoretically the head of the country. So there are many women, even going to America, Madeleine Albright, because these were all my role models. I used to look at women who are married, have children, but also seem to be doing stuff. I never had a role model of a woman who was unmarried and just doing the, I'm a boss babe kind of thing. I used to look at Madeleine Albright. Madeleine Albright had raised almost all her children before she became Secretary of State. You can read, I think she's the one, you can read about it. I think I might be wrong, but I think she is the one that had children. And have you read, am I wrong?
No, I think I don't know what age her children were, but Madeleine Albright was very masculine.
But she had children and she was married.
I will give you the Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher, definitely had that rule. We going home. I gotta cook for my husband. I don't know about the Queen. Cook for Dennis. I don't know about Queen. I don't know about the Queen.
Is the same. Yeah, the Queen is the same. She was known to be very traditional. So what am I saying? It's possible to be a doctor and be a traditional woman as well, especially in this day and age where not everybody can live on one income, right? So a lot of times these days, men need a woman to supplement their income, and men need a woman. I won't say vice versa, because Game Changer will have me on that one. But men need a woman to supplement their income, and so
need or like it will be helpful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they like to paint that, but I mean, on the average man income at 40K, you can support yourself and another. I mean, just the fact that single men exist without a woman, however, they don't live in their mom's basement, means that they can. Like, I mean, for a single man in an apartment and a single woman in an apartment say, hey, we need each other in order to live, even though we was living autonomously before that, is ridiculous. You know, so yeah, you can do it. You just gotta not have red bottoms.
So if you yes. If you have a man that's
they want the lifestyle.
It's a luxury lifestyle. That's what they're selling right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, yes, you can move in with a guy in a 1-bedroom apartment, you know, and he'll still pay the same rent he was paying before you.
Like everyone else does.
Yeah, exactly. How will you pay for the children?
No, we're not talking about children at this point, but even still, let's just say his rent is, you know, $1,000 a month or something like that, you know, and he makes 40K. So let's say 35 after taxes or something like that. He still has disposable income and stuff. And yes, you can raise children. Just the fact that they have single mothers means that it can be done by a single income. And they have single fathers,
right?
Can be done by
that was a simple point that I was going to make, and it sort of came up when I did a one-on-one with I forgot her name, but she had made a comment. I brought her up. She was trying to argue, and she was trying to argue that black men don't make enough to take care of a family, but then she also said black women been taking care of families by themselves for X number of years, and I'm like, okay, well, black women make less than black men, so how is these black women who've been taking care of families by themselves with less enough to take care of a family? And you bragged and celebrated it, but when it came to a black man, you said he don't make enough to do it. So that's the contradiction that they run into when they try to say a black man don't make enough to take care of a family, but they champion it. They've been able to somehow do it. It's like
don't single mothers.
Black women are getting government assistance.
Well, yeah, I mean, no. If that's true, if they're getting, it's true if they're getting government assistance, but it's some that don't, that make the. I mean, it's a lot of them. If you got 2 kids and you make the average income for a black woman, you're right on the edge of qualifying for some government assistance. So some of them don't get on it. So all the point that I'm making is that it's enough. It's enough. It just don't come with a certain lifestyle. That's the point that I've been making for the longest when it comes to these conversations. It don't take 6 figures to take care of a family. If you want, I mean, if it got to be a house of a certain caliber in a certain neighborhood and both husband and wife don't just got a car, but got a car with a car note, right, and the kids got certain, amenities and all kind of other stuff, then $50,000 ain't enough for all of that. But overall, it's enough. It's enough.
Yeah, but not only that, to say that people actually want a good standard of living, because I mean, if the benchmark is going to be, well, we can survive on that, but we just have to not have all the basic amenities.
What was your question? Well, hold on. What was your question? Wait a minute, I missed her question. Say your question again.
I'm just saying that shouldn't people want more than a basic living?
Of course they should, but I don't know how that refutes my point. Hold on, wait. Time out. They should want more, but how does that refute my point?
So you need 2 incomes for that, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
the 2 income. Wait. Hold on. This conversation was predicated on whether or not a woman going to get a PhD or a master's, because she still can be considered a traditional woman. If you're just talking about 2 incomes to just have a certain standard of living, we're not talking about PhDs. We're talking about the man has his job, he takes care of everything, he handles the traditional role. Her income is extra that just helps the ends meet a little more, or helps them save a little more, or this or that. So she could still be traditional if she's just working a little bit to help out.
Yeah, but having a better degree also means you can get a better job than if you don't have a degree at all. So that means you're going to earn more to bring to the family. I'm just saying.
Go
ahead, GC.
See, all of this is about I want more stuff. Remember how we talked about earlier how, it's about putting yourself first? So basically, if you could save money and not have the kids, then you have done a good thing. It's like, oh well, if I have a kid, then I will have basic income. Listen, basic is okay. Okay, I'll give an example, right? There was a teacher at the university I went to, right? He actually lived in the apartment complex with me as a student. And he was married and he had 2 kids. And they built a how do you call it? A God's chosen, a school for God's chosen people was right across the fence from the apartment. Now this is a private school. This is a private school for God's chosen. And he sent his kids to that private school. Do you want to know what that means? It means that he spent more on his kids' education than he did on rent.
Yes.
Because he put family first. He had a basic living. His wife wasn't, and his wife would stay at home, and his wife wasn't all glammed out or, whatever Italian dressmaker, fancy stuff. She wasn't all decked out and all that stuff, and he made 70K as a tenured professor, so it wasn't like balling out of control, but they lived and their kids are probably in college right now, they put everything first. So yeah, it can be done. It's ridiculous for you to say, oh, isn't it better to give them a better lifestyle? The only way he would be able to give them a better lifestyle is if one of them wasn't born. It's like, hey, do you want
give them both?
Do you want a little brother? It's like, what the hell?
You do realize that you can have the 2 kids, put them in private school, have a good lifestyle, and still ball. Or you have to spend more.
Well, he couldn't, and if he could, guess what? If you gave him an extra 30K, you want to know what he would have did with it? Had 2 more kids. See, that is what you actually do when you put family first and not put balling out of control first. You know how much of a shit I give about balling out of control? My shoes are 3 years old and I make money. I do not give a damn about balling out of control. I never did. Give me some basic equipment, some non-name brand pants and a sweater vest, and I'm a happy man. I don't care about all that crap. Why? Because there are things that are more important. Now, speaking of things that are more important, let me ask Brenda this. Would you have preferred that your father had found you a decent husband by the time that you were 20 versus having to pursue higher education?
Or 15? To take it back there.
Again, please.
And so exactly, if my dad was he put it on the table. It's like, hey, let's go ahead and
real quick before she answered that question. I think I'm putting Rod of God podcast channel in there. Jackie Jack, you don't got a channel or nothing, do you? Jackie Jack,
I don't.
You don't got it. And Brenda, you don't.
I can't take the heat.
You can't handle it. All right.
Not yet.
You might start.
Yeah, I will.
Weight loss.
Make sure y'all drop Rod of God and Game Changer channel in the chat. I hesitate to say drop Annette's channel in the chat. I mean, go over there. Watch it at your own risk. I don't.
No, drop it.
I don't recommend it, but I mean, in all fairness, she's been right here, so we got to put it in there. Watch it at your own risk. I'm just playing. But no, moderators, make sure y'all dropping everybody who participated in here the channel in the chat room. See there she go. The what? Support
the high value woman.
And that's
high value woman.
Yes, covers 31 woman.
Boss B.
Yeah. All right.
So Brenda,
Jackie Jackson, you got an OnlyFans?
I do not.
They asking for your OnlyFans?
Not yet.
You better start.
I go.
All right.
I got a cash app.
Leaving a lot of bag.
You got to. She trying to get that bag off y'all anyway. She got a cash. She said she got a cash.
Let me drop mine.
But all right.
Ghostly outline. But no. Would you have preferred that?
Yeah.
Would you have preferred that a competent male member of your family had picked you a mate at a younger age?
Yes, actually, and when I'd still mention the same thing. If I was in Kenya, exactly what all the guys have been saying. You go for the first degree, stop at BS. Why? Because back in the days, women actually went to university to get their MRS.
Wait, hold on. I think
degree
I don't know. I
instead
don't know
of
if you're
BS.
answering.
So,
I don't know if you're answering
yeah.
his very direct question. Did you say
And
yes
so,
or no?
yes, if it was in 2017, like right after I finished graduating my first bachelor's, if he was vetting a guy. Like,
No. I'm talking high school diploma
So-
or junior high school certificate of completion. Would you have preferred that?
She had to get that
versus-
education. She got to.
No,
She,
I had to get the education. I needed to get the MRS with the BS.
No, but you,
But he said no.
your father would have given you a MRS in the form of a carefully selected penis. So yeah, your father would have given you a MRS when you became of fertile years. Would you have preferred
18.
that over having to, come to America and trot after your own?
No,
What age are
because
you?
it's just, don't y'all want smart women to raise smart
were
kids?
you not?
You wasn't smart until you got your degree. You wasn't.
You
smart
don't.
until
You
I
don't
had
go
to
to school to hold on. You don't go to school to learn how to be smarter. Okay, you're going there to gather specific information that will give you the ability to do a
Of the
specific
outcome.
job. So I mean, at
Right.
this point, I mean, you should kind of just go ahead and own that part of it. You wanted your freedom. You wanted to pursue your dreams. You wanted to make
Exactly.
your own money. You wanted to have that. But after all that is over, you're still a woman and you want a man to come sweep you off your feet too. Just say you
Exactly.
want it all. Just that. I mean, that you can just own that.
Well, the thing is, with my dad, thank God, both of my parents they raised us as free thinkers. Think for your own. Also, we're too smart for our own good. Like, it's in the family intellectual thing. But whenever it came to what we wanted in our life, they did mention, okay, this is, I'm helping you with the first degree. After that, you're on your own. So the rest of education is my responsibility. So am I bringing debt to the table? You better believe it. That's why I told my significant other, I was like, look, I'm bringing debt to the table. Are you going to be okay with that? He's like, as long as I don't have to pay it. And so I was like, so I'm solely responsible. So because it does not, it just adds debt. And it's personal debt because it can't even be forgiven. That's the other thing. Just like Dave Ramsey, it can be forgiven and everything like that. So what's the point of becoming going into debt as a medical doctor in $1 million debt than just settling for the first degree? And it depends, what are you trying to pursue, and you have to finish it. You can't just start and cut off and now you have a lot of debt and you think somebody is going to come sweep off your feet.
Brenda, what are you
All
trying
right,
to
real quick,
pursue?
hold your thought, GC. I know you got a next question, but Deacon Dave is saying, will the real size 10 please stand up again?
Stop.
Sir Tyson in the building says, hold up, degrees equal more money unless you're in a specific major. 2 degrees,
Right.
double the debt. I'll take the bottle service chick over that. LOL.
All right.
You don't get to dance, Brenda. You all that debt you running up that your husband gonna have to pay off.
Hey, look.
Bernard, if you could go back to the last.
No, I was a go-go dancer.
Oh, you was doing the bottle service. So you was a
Yes.
go-go dancer? Okay,
Yeah,
you gotta help
I've
me out.
done
I don't
a
know the
lot.
difference between go-go dancing and stripping.
They got
Go-
on clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a
go-go dancer.
the go-go
Yeah,
dancer.
like
Person that,
looking.
Yeah, it's not erotic. It's no underwear or something like that. They just have like
Yeah.
shorts and stuff and their own.
Yeah, and like
Yeah. And
tight
like-
shirt, tight
Latin
shorts.
is that the person that like dances in the club as like part of
Yeah.
the scenery?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
sometimes they're caged up.
Yeah.
I was just, but that's how
Depending
I
on what kind
envisioned
of
it.
club.
I didn't want to put you in a cage dancing, but that's how I envisioned you in like the up high up in the club in a cage doing some dances. Yeah.
And no,
when it has
but
a-
I was in Latin for samba and Brazilian stuff, so
When it
that's why
has,
I ended up getting fit.
All right, GC was going down the line of a path. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no worries. When it has the exclamation point before the equal sign, it means not equal. So it says degrees does not equal more money.
Unless
Right.
you're specific.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, the exclamation point means not equal. Yeah.
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 Oh, I'm sorry. That's
All
I thought
right.
that's what he said. Yeah.
It
But he
does
was
in
saying like the
England. I
top
don't
school.
know about the US, but it does in England. Graduate training jobs start at way higher salaries than non-graduate training jobs.
But how competitive are they? Does everyone who get that graduate degree guaranteed that job? No, there's gonna be a lot of people who don't.
No, but that was not the argument. The argument was getting
It
a
is,
degree.
because if you're going to get it, you're getting all this debt. Yeah, you may get that job. That's the point I was making. But
Okay,
it's like
a graduate will make more money than a non-graduate. That's just a fact.
but if you factor in the debt, did they make more money?
Yes, they still make more money.
They might. They might.
They
And
might.
just
No,
the general
They
hold on
different.
real quick. The general principle is true that if you get a degree, you're going to make more money on average, especially if you get anything in STEM. So I think we understand that, even though most women don't go into that. Most of them get those degrees, and they do make some very. They do make. Hold on, wait, hold on. Remember, English people don't cut off. English people don't cut people off. Remember that. You said it. You said English people. You said English. Proper English folks don't cut people off. Typically, you will make more with a degree. Nobody is denying that. Damn, you cut me off, threw me off the scent of where I was going. But overall, because we were talking about whether or not that degree is helping the woman's ultimate goal that she wants. If that ultimate goal that she wants is getting with a man and getting married or this or that, it is a fair question of how is that degree actually helping you in that regard. It's like, I want to pursue the degree, I want to make the money, I want all of that, but at the same time, I do want to be with a man that's in position to where you don't even want to have to pay bills. You don't even, it's like you just
moved the goalpost.
No, I didn't move the goalpost.
I was only answering the super sticker. Listen, I don't want to throw it out there, but I am a lawyer too. Okay, you just changed the goalpost.
How did I change the goalpost? How?
The original question was the super sticker, which said
that super sticker wasn't the original question. I took it back to my original question.
It does not equal a better job. And I said a degree does equal a better job.
And I agree with that part. Hold on. Wait. I agree. Wait a minute. I agree with that part. And then I generally moved on to the overall contradiction in pursuing degrees, pursuing PhDs, when your dream is to get with a PhD, and then now you don't have to work because this PhD is going to pay for your PhD. I mean, it's a goofy thing. It's like you're chasing it to not have to use it.
And the
you're
super
chasing it
chat
to not
was
have
saying,
to use it. That's all I'm saying.
The super chat was saying that he would rather be with a bottle service girl without all of that debt, because even if that was the point, get it?
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of man that doesn't have a lot of money, or you just don't want to start with debt, that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm not having a dig. That's fine. In the UK, it's slightly different. We do get debt, but I think the average degree in the UK at the most is like 40 to 50,000 pounds. It's not like in the hundreds, like in the UK.
That's like what ours is.
That's a lot.
It's all average, yeah.
Okay, so it's the same then. But we also don't have to start paying until you earn. I can't remember what it was, maybe 20K or 25K. You don't have to start paying it back until you're earning a high wage, and even then, you still charge
25K. 25K is a high wage,
like that, something like that. Oh yes, UK. Listen, our money system here is completely different from yours. Our money system here on paper looks small, but it has a hell of a lot more value.
I know the euro is more valuable than the dollar, but 25K in a euro is, what is that, like 35, 38?
The average income in the UK is 27K. The average income.
And what does that equate to in US dollars?
27.
27K?
Yeah, that's like 32.
Yeah, that's average. Yeah, that's not a lot of money.
No, it's
good,
not. That's the average.
but that's not like a ton of money to start having to pay back a big debt.
Yeah, but that's what happens here. And then if you're rich, here the top 2% of earners, if you go into the Her Majesty's Revenue Service, or you go into the labor statistics, the top 2% earners in the UK really only earn just over 100K a year. But 100K a year can buy you a lot more here than
100K pounds that's still good, but I would think top percent. Yeah, I think it's more than that. Okay.
All right. Nice sometimes in the building with $20 super chat. He says marrying a modern woman is like investing in a bad business. Marriage has a negative ROI. Thanks to no fault divorce and spousal I think it means spousal support. Women want a provider husband, but don't want to change the alimony laws. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. All right, we done ran up on past the 3-hour mark, and it don't even feel like it. So that means it's definitely been a good show. Been having a good time today. It don't even feel like 3 hours. But we can close it out. If one of y'all got a question that y'all came up with that y'all want to throw in, we'll probably do a little more quick hitting, because I didn't think we spent like an hour on the title question, question that's in the title. So yeah, we went a long time. But car designer Chris in the building says, let's say your father found you a qualified man, and let's say a qualified man means $80K a year and a home. But yeah, I mean that gets at what Game Changer was speaking to, and it goes back to the beginning. The best part of the conversation when Annette was criticizing, saying women didn't have freedom in certain areas, but she said they were getting married off really young to qualified, successful men, but women come over here, they chase the dream, they do all of that, but ultimately the end goal is to get married to a qualified, successful man. That's why Game Changer asked a good question. Would you have been happier to just get that younger? And then Brenda said no, because she wouldn't have been able to go through a whole. I mean, she wouldn't have been able to be free and have her. She wouldn't be able to she wouldn't be able to have her freedom and chase her dreams. She ain't say nothing about a whole phase.
No, I'm here in the monogamous. I'm in one. I say I'm just playing. Stability.
Y'all some good sports. But all right, I'll throw it to anybody else. Who got some,
I have a question.
Okay.
So with all that said, and this question is to Jackie J. With all that said, are you going to pursue flip and float?
Am I going to pursue what?
Flip and float.
Oh yeah. I need to lose 17 more pounds. Yeah.
Okay, so you're in the process. So you're at 10 and you're going for
I'm in the process.
4.
I'm on keto right now.
That is beautiful. And keto, yes, I do that. I haven't done it this year, but I've done it almost every year recently. And yes, it is highly effective. I don't know many women who do it because they go more vegan and stuff like that, but that's good. We want to see you on your journey to the ghostly outline.
I will get there.
Yeah.
Did you ask an exact question, or did you ask her what she? I mean, what was your question?
No,
you asked her was she trying to lose?
Is she still pursuing? Is she still going down on her journey? So is she going towards the flip and float benchmark? And she said, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
There's more to get.
I have a question from Brenda.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, how old was your mom when she got married to your dad?
Traditionally speaking, I want to say she was 21 whenever she just got into college. So she did the MRS in college, and then they started to get to know each other, but they met each other. But he was the one who was showing the interest. So I want to say at 21, they started getting to know each other, and then got traditionally married for 5 years before they got wedded after she graduated college. So she kind of put, she was a past veterinarian. So, and also my dad was a veterinarian. So, their intellectual level was here. And my dad made sure that she finished education before she actually did get married. But I came in probably in the middle of, her college career. I think before she finished. So she prioritized both because she had to because of strikes and stuff like that. But
All
yeah.
right. Looking at Obsidian's
25,
question there, he says, Bernard Raleigh, simply put, American Black women view having a husband/mate as a complement to their lives. In short, a husband/mate provides amenities. Black men, on the other hand, see things differently, providing the basics. I don't think Black men see it like that. I think Black men give a broader analysis on a larger scale, like whether or not families in general can work on a large scale. Yes, there will be some average earning people who will have to work it out and figure it out. And we were making a case that is mathematically possible. Now, as far as overall what I'm going to do as an industrious, go-getter man, no, it's not just like, I'm not just beating my chest. I'm providing the basics. Like, no, but I'm saying that overall, that's how it plays out. That's how it played out before. And so if people are saying that those basics is not enough, then they're basically saying in this modern time, families just won't work anymore. That's basically what they're saying. A family will only work if it comes with a lifestyle with some red bottoms. And if that's where we're at, that's where we're at. But people need to understand exactly what it is that they're saying. If they're saying that a man owning, a man making $50,000 a year, which adjusted for inflation is more or less what men used to make back in the day. Adjusted for inflation, it's the same thing. If they're saying that that's not enough for a proper family to function, then they're just basically saying the hell with a functional society, law of the jungle. Let's just, get their money, live single, hookup culture. If that's where we're at, people need to understand that's what the hell they're saying. That's my argument. That's not me saying that's not me beating my chest saying the basics is enough. No, that's not what's happening.
No one took it that way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it looked like Obsidian did. They've heard a question that he laid out. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I've heard some. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was also states. So sorry. With the Western society, it's more of the abundance mindset thing that now we're trying to restructure, saying that a man can actually provide for a family, and a house. But it's not the house we want as women, because we will, as females, we just want more. We just want the whole world. But at the end of the day, it's not reality, and so. Thank God I have my dad to kind of tune me into my reality. So that's what I'm looking for whenever it comes to a guy, to tune me into my reality and stop living in this fantasy of abundance mindset. And then kind of, but that's the culture that we're trying to change.
And to what Obsidian is saying right there, I'm glad that the Black manosphere has, led the charge and fully shining a light on that. Shining a light on that. So that's why that's one area where I definitely get a Black manosphere a pat on the back. We about to get up out of here. I know better than.
Last question, please.
Okay, I know better than to bring Obsidian up here. We'll be held hostage for another hour, so we got to go. We got to go.
Cool. No, just one question for Annette. Are you seeking? Or actually, two questions. Are you seeking flip and float?
What does that mean? Do I want to be thrown around?
Yes, in that sense. But do you want to take longer to land when you are thrown around? Yeah.
I don't mind. I've never tried it before.
No, what I'm saying is, at a size 4, you are more flippable and floatable. Are you seeking to become a size 4?
To be honest, no. Because when I was much, much smaller, my bones were jutting out, my ribs were jutting out. When guys, when I was in bed, I was in pain because when I put my seatbelt on, my seatbelt was rubbing on my neck. Yeah, I've got neck bone, but my seatbelt was rubbing on my neck.
Where's your neck bone?
You said you got a neck bone?
Where's the neck bone?
Wait, hold on. Wait, I think I missed what you said. How many neck bones you say you eat? You said you eat neck bones?
Yeah, I eat neck bones. And my neck bone,
eating neck bones.
Like Brenda does. You have a collarbone like Brenda has.
Stuff that happens was super silly. I don't really
do you have a collarbone like Brenda does with the indented throat?
I don't have a collarbone like Brenda does, but I have a collarbone like Annie does.
I don't see it.
That's mine. Well, I do. You don't have to see it because you don't pay my bills.
Oh God!
Look, there's my collarbone there.
I mean, if you like squint your
cuffed,
eyes
though.
and click your heels together and say there's no place like home, it kind of pops up.
Listen,
Okay,
what does it matter? Look, listen, game
no,
changer.
Here's my second question.
No, let me just finish, please. It doesn't matter because I could argue all day that some men like Ferraris, and I could argue all day that some men like Bentleys. Listen, if you like a size 2, knock yourself out. I wish you the best forever and ever. But the man that likes the Bentley, he's going to come to me. And trust me, I have never been single and I have never dated a broke guy, and I'm well looked after. So I'm happy.
Now,
so if you are a Bentley,
I'm the chick that for the guy that likes meat. Okay. And Brenda is the chick that for the guy that doesn't like meat. We can all be happy.
No, that's not true.
Why do we always
that's not true.
Answer me this. Answer me this. Answer me this. If your man right now says, "I want," if your man right now says, "I want to flip you and float you and see your collarbone," would you oblige his rule? His Bible is ordained.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
If he tells me to go on the diet, I want you to be higher, I will. But he doesn't want me to go on a diet.
He hasn't found me yet.
He's not here. And he won't talk to you because he doesn't.
I have a show too. We will convene and I will talk to your mate. Is that okay?
My darling, listen, my guy is the top 5 finance person in the country. He doesn't do YouTube. He's not a YouTube.
Would he talk to? Would he talk? I think he does. I think he does. I think he does.
No, he won't. Listen, honey, they pay him to talk to him.
I think that you fear that once he speaks to me and sees Brenda, he's going to want some flip and flow.
Listen, honey.
All right. Let me jump in. Don't diss YouTube. It's people making top 5 incomes on YouTube. So don't diss the YouTube game. Don't diss the YouTube game.
It's like you telling me to ask an MP to come and have a conversation with you. You don't know
you asked a 5% man to be with a.
He's not a 5% man. He's a top 1% earner. I said top 5 in his field.
So she's a high value. That's why she's high value woman. Okay.
His field, no.
Oh God. Okay.
All right.
I'm just saying that he's settled. So and you will be another settled. I mean,
game changer.
Hey, I was gonna let her live, man. I was gonna let her live.
Whether he's settled or not, he's happy. We go
out.
But
he will be happy coming to YouTube. I'm just saying, if he's settled in one way,
he's settled in one way. He can settle by coming to YouTube. And if he wanted to leave me, he will. He's a man. Men leave when they want to. No woman can make a man stay with them. So the fact that he's here means he likes me. We went to a party in Mexico. We went on a beach. We saw very beautiful skinny women, and we both looked and it's like, damn, she's hot. Damn, she's hot. I'm like, yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. And it's like, honey, let's go and have some lunch now. Let's go home. End of. He,
Flex on.
So, and this is what I mean by settle. He looks at slim women and he looks at slim women in the ghostly outline of their 6-pack and say, I want that, but I'm gonna settle and take this. Now, what I'm saying to you is,
no.
Wait, hold on. See, I think it's something to. I mean, if he truly got money, like she's saying, then I tend to believe it's either one or two things. Either he don't truly understand his worth, or he actually like what he got.
Settle means.
One or the other. No. It could mean he actually like what he got, or he don't understand his worth. That's it. It's one or the other.
Oh, that's
It's one
not
or the
true.
other.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
let
not
me
even,
rescue
and
Annette
I'm not
here.
even, and I'm not even
You
trying
don't
to.
need to rescue me.
I'm
I
not.
know.
I'm
But one
I'm
thing
not
I
even
know
trying to
about
pin
even
her.
just meeting her, the HV, like being a high valuable woman, and especially Proverbs 31 woman, she's very feminine. She has never been single in her life because somebody's always cuffing her, and she's very intelligent. But also, whenever it comes to
Do
the
you know her
culture,
personally? Are
they're
you talking
very
about her? Wait,
feminine.
time out. Are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I'm just talking about
You talking
so
about
the
Annette?
reason
You
why
don't know her. Wait, time out.
I
You don't
don't know
know
her, but her personality, like whatever she's saying, the anecdotal, and more so, if she's saying what she's saying and she has this top 5% financial whatnot, is because she was able to attract him and keep him. It's about the retention part. So now that's what we as women, we got to figure out how we can attract. Sometimes we can't just retain. But whenever she's coming with a talking point, actually it's more of what the culture she has growing up in, and then how the society is actually coming in,
And
how she views everything like that.
It's not always to do with me. Sometimes you just deal with guys that just think a little bit more laterally and a little bit more with a little bit more depth than just whether you're a 10 or not. You know, they kind of
no. Wait, hold on. Time out. Stop. Well, see, all right, now I got to cut you off right there. Wait, hold on. Stop it. One, we ain't never said a woman got to be a 10. Two, don't try to do you got more depth flex, because when we were in an intellectual debate with you with all your degrees and your lawyer, you said you're a lawyer, you said that, you got picked apart, torn to shred, and broken down logically to the point like 5 to 10 times by somebody who just got a high school degree. So you don't get to do I got depth flex on me after I just completely tore you to shreds. I tore you to shreds in
but
debate.
Prestige is very important to you, though. It sounds like.
Like, come on.
What do you say, Brenda?
Come on.
Prestige, it might be very important to you. Like,
I'm from a very prestigious family. I don't like to argue unnecessarily, no.
Yeah. I mean, listen. That's what she's explaining is that. Hold on, wait. Stop. What she's explaining is why I don't like to get overly personal with it, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's personal life. I mean, she said she came from a prestigious family. This guy probably from a prestigious family, and prestigious people get together and keep the money and all that. People have reasons why they end up together, but I think the general principles of what we're saying tend to be true. But if one individual, for whatever reason that however they did what they define as winning in life, I mean, yeah, they can have these flaws or that flaws, but they still can have, a flex saying, but hey, I got what I was looking for. That's no problem. Like, I'm not
like problem.
No,
well, it's a hold on, wait, time out. It's a problem if she tries to just sell it to run of the mill, average looking, overweight chick. You can do it too, but there was probably other circumstances that helped or that led to her ending up in the position which she is. The prestigious family might have something to do with it. But again, it goes back to one person in a privileged situation trying to sell some nonsense to somebody else.
Because I'm a nice person.
No,
why do you guys have to look for any other reason?
Because we want them nice and slim. We want them nice and to be able to quote. That's what Kevin Samuels means when he says fit, feminine, and friendly. It's three different things. We want them all. We want all three of those things. And guess what? Your man wants those things. Just the fact that he went to Mexico and said, "Look at all these slim women." And yes, I like slim women. I like slim women. I like slim women. And you just say, "I'm not going to be slim," shows how little respect you have for him. He's basically stating to you what he likes, and you not gimmying it. That's the problem. If I go to somebody's house and I say, "Ooh, I like this gumbo," then guess what you should be doing? Women, get me gumbo. That's the thing. You anticipate my wants and give me it. And he wants slimmer women, and you not gimmying it.
Okay.
All right.
That's of what everybody wants. So if that makes you happy to think that way, knock yourself out.
It's what he wants. He said in Mexico, "That's what I want." He looked at a Mexican.
You're right.
You're right. Mexican and said, "I want this. I want this gold outline. Give me it."
You're right.
I'm calling it.
You're so
right.
right.
All right.
I know I'm right. And
you're so right. Show us your face so we know.
But if he got her at that size, like, should he be asking her to lose weight if he got with her that size?
No.
But he didn't even
what he was getting into.
She did it for herself.
No, he didn't ask me to lose weight. He asked, Game Changer said, if he asks you to lose weight, will you do it? And I said, yes. I never said he asked me to lose weight.
He indirectly asked you. He indirectly, excuse me.
Nah, he got directly asked you.
Hold on, wait a minute. See, hold on, wait, time out. Everybody time out.
No.
Everybody time out. See, now I wasn't with Game Changer. Hold on, Annette, you muted and your mouth still moving. Come on, I know you can hear me. All right, I wasn't with Game Changer with this line of questioning because look, I mean, somebody individual outcomes, their individual outcomes, you know. Exceptions, you know, there's exceptions to the rule, or the exception, there's a exception that proves the rule. So, you know, you can't debate somebody who got an individual outcome that they're happy with, regardless if they don't fit the archetype of whatever. It just you can't sell it on a mass scale. You can't. That's all I'm saying. So that's the point that I would argue. But overall, even though I wasn't with Game Changer with his line of questioning, if I went out with my woman, let's just say I made $50K a year, and we went out somewhere really nice, and she was like, "Man, look at all of these men that make all this money, that's pulling up in all these nice cars. I really like all of these successful men at this really high, you know, establishment that we normally can't afford to go to. Look at all these successful men that make all this money. Okay, let's go back to our little shack." She's low-key telling me that she.
Have you heard about people watching? We talk about the slim chicks. We talk about slim chicks. We talk about the couples.
Fair enough.
Everybody. It's not just that he picked out the slim.
Okay. All right.
No. He wasn't.
And men are supposed to be more direct.
He was window shopping.
He would say it, point blank period. Females are the ones indirect.
If they gain weight, I tell them you need to lose weight. I don't
Exactly.
No, I get it.
No, men. Hold on. Time out. Men in this modern society do got to walk on eggshells when it comes to that stuff. I know how I am.
The ones who are not
I know how I am. A lot of men are punks. The whole little thing when the wife asks you, how do she look in the dress? Does this dress make her butt look big or lumpy or whatever the hell? They say you're supposed to lie, and most men lie, but I wouldn't do that.
I would lie then, but I'm gonna tell you if you need to lose weight. I wouldn't. If she putting on a dress and we about to go, wow, I'm not gonna be like shit. But if she's gaining weight, I'm gonna tell her when, and not in a moment like that, but just one-on-one, like, yo, babe, you're gaining too much weight.
Some men are weak, though. Some men are weak. Hold on, real quick. Go ahead, GC. Go ahead, GC.
Do you like write on the walls, I want a threesome? Or do you say something like, you know, the homie, it's an interesting thing. He got his girl to get her friend to come through one night, and I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that it was kind of open-minded how she, you know, got her friend to come through, and you know, we had a lot of fun. Like, they had a lot of fun. Do you say that, or do you just say, give me a sandwich, and while you at it, pull another bitch out? Like, so. Like honestly, sometimes you just gotta beat around the butchers.
I've only ever stumbled into freaky stuff like threesomes. It's never been pre-planned, but like dead ass. If I'm not playing. I don't think this is a revolutionary, a controversial thing to say. If it's something that's bothering you, like, you gon' say it, bro. Like I've never been the type to not say it. Maybe that's why I'm always breaking up.
Well, no, I don't think that is bothering her, dude. But I do think that he wants slimmer, and that knowing that want should entice her to give me it. That's what I'm saying.
How do you know I'm not on a diet?
Huh?
How do you
Say that again? Hold on, wait, say that again. Hold on, wait, time out. Say that again.
How
do we know what? How do we know what? What did you say?
How do you know whether I'm on a diet or not?
Because I asked you, miss. I said in the beginning, I said, are you working on your flip and float? And you said no. That's why. If you're on a diet, then you're working on your flip and float.
We gotta go, man.
Most women are on diets all the time. At least most women that understand the importance of health.
That is
then you are working on your flip and float. But you said no. I asked you, just like I asked Jackie, are you working on your flip and float? And she says, yes, I'm on keto. You could have said, yes, I'm on a diet
I
too,
don't know
but
what
you
that
didn't.
means.
You got lawyered.
I don't know what a flip and
No,
float.
and then I said, are you working to get a ghostly outline of a six pack? And you said
No,
no.
you said, am I working for a man to throw me? So I thought you were talking about sex.
Yes, being slim is better sex.
Well, just ask me if you want to be slim. I don't understand the lingo.
No matter what, you're on a diet to be slim, to be able to be thrown around.
All right. We got. I'm just pulling a plug. All right. Look, thank you, everybody. This was a great show. At least the majority of it.
I love you,
But
Annette.
man,
You're fun.
Yes,
Annette.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna follow you
Annette,
because
Annette, seriously, Annette, you
love your
took a lot of
personality.
jokes, took a lot of heat. You did hold your own at the end in this last round against Game Changer. I give you props on that. But you got beat up most of the show. But you was definitely a good sport.
I get beat up. I don't mind. I'll just
okay,
have a glass of wine.
Yeah, I mean, you okay? That's fine. No, but no, good show. You definitely made the show. You definitely made the show. I appreciate you. But we getting out of here. Thank you, everybody. We are out of here. Peace.